Hey, 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 TGIF, everybody. It is Friday, April 5th, 2024. And we're back again. Today, guys, we're talking about a little bit of everything and everyone to keep this stuff hot out there so nothing goes cold. We got some info to talk about, or just things in general to talk about with Sebastian Rogers, Madeline Soto, Caleb Harris, and more. So thank you all for joining me today as we do this on this Friday, end of the week. It is the weekend, guys. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. What's up? What's up? How we doing today, guys? Thank you all for joining me today on this Friday, almost the weekend. Time to end it all for the week. Take a break and start it all again next week. So thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you guys had a great night last night. Thank you guys for joining me for last night as well. And I hope you all are having a great start to your Friday. It's great to have you guys here. Again, like I said, we're having a wide open discussion today. Of course, I'm going to open the phone lines, the panel, whatever we got to do, but we're talking about everything today, guys. A little bit about Sebastian, a little bit about Madeline Soto, Caleb Harris, and some more as well. So I'm glad to have all of you guys here with us today to do that. I appreciate it. Is this a censorship channel? No, there's no censorship. I don't swear very often, but there's no censorship. You can say what you need to say as long as I have two rules in this channel, by the way, just so everybody knows that's new. The main one is that there is no victim shaming at all for any of the cases we cover. And two, the main rule is just to respect each other. That's it. You don't even have to respect me, folks. You respect each other. Everybody's going to have their own separate opinions about different things and feelings about things. So please respect each other's feelings and opinions. That's all I ask. So those are the only rules I have here, guys. There's no censorship. There's no anything. People are free to have an opinion, of course. Of course. That's what it's all about, guys. And I'm asking everyone if the opinions that you see and hear you don't agree with. That's fine. Do not, and I repeat, do not attack somebody because they have a different opinion than you do, because you will be removed. That's all I'm saying, because this channel is based on the fact that you are allowed to have your own opinions and have your own feelings about things, guys, because we all don't always agree. And that's okay, because we may disagree throughout this entire show about what we talk about, but at the end, we're going to walk away and shake hands and come back tomorrow and do the same thing again, because that's what it's about, guys. That's what this is about. Everything that we talk, most everything we talk about in here is purely alleged and speculation based on factual information that we receive. Everybody has the right to speculate and have their opinions. As long as you're not shaming a victim, I have nothing to say about that. And you respect each other. That's all I ask. Nothing more, nothing less. So thank you for that. And for understanding that. And again, please, if you will, hit that like button on the way through the door and make sure you leave a little bit of DNA for me. Now, the only thing I will have to say is that Kimber is going to have to leave and never come back, because that opinion I will never agree with. That you cannot put pineapple on pizza. That is absolutely disgusting. What is wrong with you, Kimber? Oh, my God. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't like it. I've heard a lot of people that do, though. Just messing with you, Kimber. No worries. And Cassie, you know better. Caca. Yes, you're grounded. I'm sorry to hear, Zelda. I wish I went sooner. Oh, no. I can't even do that, Kimber. I can't handle the pineapple thing. Canadian bacon, I'm down with, but not the pineapple. Sorry. I know a lot of people say it's good. I can't put the taste together in my mouth. It doesn't work for me. Come on in, guys. Get a seat, please, while you can. We got 61 peeps in here and 46 likes. Let's do something about that. Please make that match so that we can get this out in the algorithm and the whole world can see it instead of just us in here. Please and thank you. Tracy again. I will keep my opinion about pineapple on pizza to myself. Yeah. It's all good, Tracy. You don't have to hide it. It's okay. Pineapples. Yes, that's right, Molly. So, speaking of all of these awesome peeps in here, let's see who we have gracing us with their amazing presence today. It looks like Solus, Ginger, and Hellcat. I love those names. Welcome to you. I don't know if this is your first time, but welcome. It's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Meta Mom Christy, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Kimber, of course, always a pleasure. Miss Cassie, hello. How are you, dear? Good to see you. The Misfit Pariah's in the house. Welcome back to you. Brandy B, never a doubt that she'll be here, guys. She's always here. Good golly, Miss Molly's in the house. Always happy to see you, Molly, dear. Thank you for joining me today. Again, Tracy, again, good to see you. Norma Fralin, welcome back to you. Miss Victoria, always a pleasure. Josie West, what is going on? Good to see you today. Ro is in the house. Welcome back, Ro. Great to see you today. Kim Marin, always a pleasure. Great to have you here, dear. Neil Homestead, welcome back, brother. Good to see you today. Unfortunately, Miss Zelda was here but had to leave. We will see you again soon, Miss Zelda. Thank you for joining us. Carolyn Miller, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us so very much. Robert Bell, what's happening? Welcome back, bro. Good to see you today, as always. Let me see. Who else do I have in here? I gotta go clear back up here to the top. There's my doodle bug fart in the house. What is going on, Duty? Good to see you today, and thank you for joining us. I appreciate you very much. Josie West, I think I just said that, but welcome anyway. Slow Southern Style, welcome back to you. Great to see you today. Nana's in the house. Not a drama, Nana. Welcome back to you. Truly amazing. Thank you for joining us again. Great to see you. Oh, la, la, la. Spooky Paws, welcome back. Great to see you again. Thank you for joining us today. Michelle Brook, thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Oh, did I miss something? Hold on, guys. Come on in, guys. We have 69 people with 51 likes, please. 51 likes. Please make that match so we can get this out. Nat Cat, welcome back to you. Great to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Tina B, welcome back, dear. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us today. Tanya Obrov, welcome back. Good to have you here, as always. Oh, okay. Well, either way, welcome, Michelle. It's wonderful to have you here. SRB's in the house. Welcome back to you. Miss Kells, welcome back. Great to see you today. Thank you to all my moderators that jumped in here today, because once again, as always, I could not nor would not do this without you, because you guys make things amazing. I think Mama Bear's working. She may not be joining us, but if so, she will surprise me as always. T2014's in the house. Welcome back. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. I think that's it for right now. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat, grab your coffee, tea, whatever it may be. Please, please come on in, sit down, have a conversation with me. Lip lock no more. I see you there. Welcome. Good to have you. Come on in, guys. Right. All right. Let's see here. Brandy. All right, you're good, Kimber. It's okay. We forgive you now. It's all right. No big deal. No grounding needs happening. Seasoning steaks. Now I'm jealous. Oh my God, guys. You know how long it's been since I've had a steak? Good God. Steak or seafood. I love it. It's so expensive, though. So expensive. And I can't eat those. What are they called? Round steaks or whatever, the cheap ones. It's like chewing on a shoe. There's no point in it. So I just don't do it. Miss Vicki Harrison, welcome back. Great to see you today. I know I gotta fix that. Thank you, Metamom. I just noticed that a few minutes ago. I was Yes, ribeyes are my favorite. Did I hang up on you? I think you're seeing things, Kimber. I kicked myself out. 64 peeps with 59 likes. Come on now. Let's do it. We've been doing it every day. We can do this. Oh, I just went up and I fixed the title real quick. That's all. And I had to back out to do it. Prime rib, I love it. Yes. I love beef, period. Oh, no. It was just because I was trying to fix the title. I didn't want to be disrespectful to Caleb himself. I have made his name spelled wrong, so I fixed that. All right. Come on in, everybody. Get comfortable. Grab a seat while you can. Never know how many people we're going to get in here. Well, I appreciate you jumping into the chat today, Michelle. And I want to say I appreciate everybody that hangs out lurking, that doesn't jump in the chat too, because you're just as important, guys. And you continuously help to grow this channel and make things happen here. So thank you, and I appreciate that very much. So do I, Kimber. I eat mine pretty close to mooing, if you know what I'm saying. I like mine very rare, if you know what I'm saying. I throw it on the grill and it's done. Everybody loves bacon doodle. If somebody doesn't like bacon, something's wrong with them. Andy Rose, welcome. Good to see you. It's okay. I see you here now. It's all that matters. Even if you're only, if you don't ever want to jump in the chat, guys, it's not a big deal at all. I love pounding the crap out of it. Gotcha, Kim. It's okay. Medium rare. That's pretty much where I'm at too, Carolyn. I don't like it. Well, I don't. It's weird. When I was younger, I liked it even like very rare, to where it was almost raw. Okay. Um, I like it a little more cooked now than that, but still, God, I would love to get a hold of some good fish and seafood and a steak. I'd be in heaven. Yes, medium rare. Salt and pepper. That's all it needs, guys. Throw it on the grill. Salt and pepper, medium rare, and a dollop of real butter as it's sitting and resting. Bam. I don't like that either because it gets too greasy to me. No. If you use steak sauce, you're destroying the steak. You're destroying the flavor. I'm sorry. I do agree, Kimber. Steak sauce completely. Why are we talking about food again, guys? Every time we start talking about food. Welcome back, Sunshine. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Fritos and dip, dreaming. Just pretend lip locked. That's right. A good steak does not need sauce. You guys are killing me with this steak thing, SRB. I haven't had a steak. It's got to be close, maybe close to a year now. Yes, Andy, I'm right there with you. I do love garlic, so I could do with the garlic. Worcestershire, I can't do the Worcestershire. The only thing I ever put Worcestershire sauce on is maybe pork chops, and that's even rare. Little bit. Welcome back. Good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Ooh, we buy a quarter cow, so well, damn you. Good for you. Shit, that's a lot of meat. Tube steak. No comment, Tanya. Steer it at the end. Yeah, you guys are making me want to head to a damn steakhouse. So you just take the heifer and brown both sides. Pretty much. Newman 25. Yes, we do love food. We always end up talking. I swear to God, you guys, I was talking to my wife about starting a damn food channel. My Discord has a food section for recipes and stuff in there too. So do I, Andy, in a bad way. It has to be. It would be. That's awesome. SRB mushrooms. Yes, you got to have the sautéed mushrooms that goes with it. No, you didn't. A little bit. You were perfectly fine. You don't even need to think about that at all. You were absolutely fine. Please don't ever apologize for speaking your mind. Welcome, Mr. Sam or Mrs. Is it Mr.? I can't tell by your picture. Sam Finch from the UK. Welcome from over the pond. Love my UKers. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Cassie. That's hilarious. Kimber. Welcome, Dakota. Thank you for joining us today. A tomahawk steak. God bless America. Pamela, those are expensive. That's a big one. Yes, you were absolutely great. A little bit. Never ever have to apologize. And that goes to any of you for expressing your opinions about something we're talking about and the way you feel. Don't apologize. Wagyu. Yes, that's real expensive. Walt Harris, good to see you. Vent away, my friend. 83 peeps in here with 72 likes. We're almost there, guys. Come on now. Let's get this in that algorithm. Got a freezer full of. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Venison steaks are amazing on the grill. I love it. What the hell? What did you just say, Doodle? I like the wash your sister sauce. Wash your sister sauce. I'm done. I'm cashing in my chips. I'm out. That is the first time. Oh, you were calling me? Okay, well, hold on a minute. I'll let you call through here. 1 second. Oh, you're kidding. Don't mess with my head. Digging out some deer back straps. Damn, Thomas, you guys are killing me today. Worcestershire. Oh, I know what it is. Doodle called it Worcestershire sauce. That's hilarious. I can say Worcestershire. Or Worcestershire. Damn it, Clue. Worcestershire. I can say it. I used to date a girl a long time ago. You too, a little bit. That would say Worcestershire like that, and I was like, "What's a who? Worcestershire?" And I had to sit down with a piece of paper and write it for her. And I said, "Now say that," and I broke it down into little things. And it's Worcester. Jesus Christ, Worcestershire is basically how it's pronounced if you break it down. Worcestershire, but right, exactly, Cassie, just like that. Break it down and use the phonetics. Worcestershire. Wash your sister sauce. That is too much for me. What's up, Cindy? Cindy Curve coming from work. So that means Big Al's not here with ya. That's okay. Wash your sister sauce. That is hilarious. Easy for us Brits to pronounce it. I bet it is, actually. It's Worcester. Worster. Worcestershire. Shire. There's a lot of shires over in the UK. And then sauce. Yeah, Steve, SWTC, welcome, bro. Good to see you. Tennessee Dirt Track. Sounds like fun. I did say hi to Walt, Kim. I always do. We don't neglect Walt. Ever. Based on my understanding, Walt's almost like a neighbor. Pretty much. Pretty close. Yeah, no you in it. Worcestershire. Worcestershire is the way it would be broken down, but the Brits say Worcester. Worst. Yeah, they leave off the shire. So they just say Worcester sauce. Probably easier, honestly. Yes, the Brits, they have enough shires over there. They don't need an extra one. Axel the Hellcat. I love it. Think of Hobbitland when you say it. Kara. That was good, Kara. Thank you. Welcome, by the way. It's good to see you today. Irene Clobber, same to you. Thank you for joining us. Let's see here. I called Chester Draws until a week ago. Chester Draw. Wait a minute. You called it a Chester Draws? Chest of drawers. Oh, God. It's okay a little bit. No worries. We all say things differently. Come on in, everybody. 101 peeps in here. We got 77 likes. We're getting there. Welcome, Willows and Mama. Thank you for joining us. Nada drama. Had a shaky quake. Had a little shaky quake? A shaky quake. That's interesting. I like that one. Let's see here. Now I am absolutely, wholeheartedly, mouth-wateringly craving steak, you guys. Damn it, y'all. Easier for us massholes to... That's hilarious, Ginger. Massholes. Do we have any birthdays in here today that are going to try to slip through? Come on now. Somebody tell me. Don't lie about it. Thank you very much, SRB, and thank you very much to any of you that donate to this channel this way through these links to support this channel. This, guys, pays the internet and everything else. That's what it's used for, so thank you. It's very much appreciated. We never expect it, but I do appreciate each one of you that does it. Thank you so very much. I just ate a sweet and spicy burger from Whataburger. I've never had Whataburger. I've always wanted it. I've always wanted that. Um, there's something else that we don't have here. I think it's on the West Coast in Cali that I've never had that I wanted to try. Irene, I am too. I love my meat. That's a fact. Love meat. I'm not. I like vegetables too, though. I'll eat every vegetable you put in front of me, except for um. Well, I'll even eat okra now if it's fried. It took a long time, but it has to be fried. When really drunk, it comes out. Ass washer sauce. Ass washer saw. That was good. New York steak. Okay. I pulled a Clue this week. You probably did it one time throughout the week. Clue usually orders once a day, Carolyn. That's the difference. I knew you were going to say something. As soon as I said it, Clue, I knew you were going to say something. Shut your damn mouth. Greek salad, spicy hummus. Damn, that sounds good, Cassie. I love Greek foods. Ooh, no, Dago, you don't. It's not good to me. I only will eat it if it's fried and like fried down to where it tastes like nothing. That's the only way I'll eat it. I hate okra. But my wife being from the South, it was kind of forced into my menu. Oh, you're catching up to Clue, Kimber. Does she have you in training? Is that what it is? Is she training more Amazon orderers to be like her? Are you training people, Clue? In-N-Out Burger. Yes, Josie. That's the one I want to try. Thank you. Yes. Homemade Greek food is awesome. My best friend, Angie, a lot of you know about, she passed away 2 years ago from cancer, going on 3 years now. Damn. Was Greek. She was half Greek, half Italian, but she lived by the Greek side and all the time was making homemade. I grew up with her because I knew her 41 years. And yes, Gallic de Borico, I love it. Oh god, there's so many different things she would make. I love it all. Nothing at all wrong with the Southerners. The love of my life is a Southerner. That's a fact. When is Nancy Grace going to interview a Tennessee Hills cannibal? What the hell? What does that mean? Five Guys is too expensive for what you get, in my opinion, Andy. Greek salads are amazing, Carolyn. I love them. I love Greek olives too. Chewy. Oh, the animal food place. That's cool. Now, that's a fact, Jack. Nope. My wife is from Alabama. But like I said last night, I think it was when I met her, I was almost nothing because the creature couldn't cook, guys. The creature could not cook. Even out of a box, she would ruin things. So I was the cook in our family until me and the creature got divorced, and I met the love of my life 20 some years later, and 50 pounds later, a little more than 50, I should say. Yeah, she can cook her brains all. Everything she touches turns to gold. I swear to God, anything food, and she could eat. There's been times that she didn't even know what she's doing, and it still tastes amazing. So, yeah, my wife is from. Oh my God, where is it? I'm trying to think of the name. It's a really, really, really small town. It's down below Hayden, Alabama. Starts with a W. Moonshine capital of the world. Awesome. Minnesota. Salt and pepper were our spices. Horseradish, yes. Welcome, Sharon. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us today. Madeline. I'm French and Eastern European living in Massachusetts with a ton of Polish people. That's interesting. My wife is French and Irish and grew up in Alabama. I was born and raised in Alabama, I should say. I'm Italian and Slovenian or Transylvanian, depends on what year you call it. and was born in boring ass Ohio and still here. Central Alabama. Okay. Got you, Metamom. Roll Tide, that's for sure. I was going to ask that same question. Solus, Northampton. Okay. 10 more likes and we're in the algorithm. That's awesome. I'm enjoying talking to you guys. Has the very best cheese. Wisconsin cheese. Carly Ray, welcome. Good to see you today. So, like I said, guys, we're going to have a wide open discussion today. We're gonna talk about some things, of course, and discuss them. That's what we do. Yeah, I think I do agree that the best cheeses I've had come out of Wisconsin. That's a fact. White sharp cheddar, Black Diamond white sharp cheddar cheese is the best. I'm sorry, and I love white sharp cheddar cheese. It's probably the best flavor. That and Gouda. Welcome, Michelle Weddle, and yes, welcome to all of the meatballs. All you new meatballs, you old meatballs. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. White truffle cheese. I don't think I've ever had that, Cassie. I'm near Kansas City. You're not fond of barbecue, Michelle? What? Oh, Lord. That's a different one. Most everybody loves barbecue. I guess, what do you consider barbecue? That's the different thing. People from the North call it one thing, and people from the Midwest, and they call it something else. People from the South call it something completely different, I found out. Cheese. I love cheese. I could eat cheese all day. Kim said cheese. That's a nice picture, Kim. It looks like a new picture. It looks very nice picture, by the way. Um, Kim doesn't cheese doesn't do it for me. California cheeses. A lot of good dairy products come from California, which blew my mind. I did not expect that. I didn't realize that California had all the farms that they have. A lot of my milk comes out of California that we buy in the stores here. Kansas City, Missouri, Texas, or Memphis. Right. There's a huge difference. Like, see, I love smoked salmon and any kind of fish. So crawfish, we have those here too. They don't look nothing like what you guys got down there. Ours are like this. I'll tell you one thing. Molly was showing me her crawfish one day, and I was like, them ain't crawfish. Those are lobsters. Their crawfish are like this. Ours are like this. Big difference. Oh, yeah, we have a couple cheese stores here too. Munster, yes, Munster's good. I agree with that, Josie. See, I like having these conversations with you guys. I know some people don't want to hear any of this, but we get to know each other a little bit better, you know? And it's just nice to relax and have conversation before we get into all the bad stuff sometimes, or sometimes after the fact. I enjoy talking with you guys, period. So mud bugs. Love the mud bug. Crawfish are amazing, Kim. They really are. We get buckets and buckets of them down here down behind my house, behind my garage. We have a river, creek, whatever creek you want to call it. We can take buckets down there and pull out buckets full of them all day long. No big deal. And then what you do is you take a 5-gallon bucket and you pack it full of them, probably about 3/4 full, and you put the lid on it. You cut a hole in the lid about that big, okay? And you shove a pressure hose down inside there and blast it. And all that water comes running out, black, brown, whatever color. And you do that and you keep running that water through that until the water runs clear. When that water runs clear, those crawfish are clean. Then you take them out, you boil them up, and you tear them apart, guys. They are the shit. Oh, that's where I never could say that. Ghirardelli chocolate place is. That's pretty cool, Victoria. Welcome, Teresa. Dane Crawford, fried chicken. My wife makes the best fried chicken on the planet. Swear to God. I wanted to go to New Orleans myself. Irish, Scandinavian, and Norwegian. Damn. So you're blonde for sure. There's no two ways about that. Nothing wrong with that, a little bit. Nothing at all. I think you can't go wrong with chocolate. I agree, Kim. We feed our crayfish cornmeal so they pop. Sounds good, Annie. Sounds good. Welcome, Taxi Slut. Thank you for joining us. Troyer's Trail Bologna. Yes, I have, Taxi. It's very good. I think it was made by Troyer Bert Durr. Sorry. Troyer Farms. There we go. Catch and crawdads. Catch and release. Oh, no, Sharon. You got to eat them things. Rachel Rach, welcome. Yes, he did. Jeffrey Dahmer did work at the Ambrosia Chocolate Factory. Jeffrey Dahmer was born and raised 15, 20 minutes from where I sit right now in Bath, Ohio. Oh, I got you, Sharon. No problem. Trail bologna is, I love trail bologna. And I love the beef, well, I just call them beef sticks, but venison meat sticks, I love those too. And deer jerky, all of that stuff. In Milwaukee, right. Liverwurst. I do love liverwurst. Braunschweiger, yes. Trail bologna is made typically out of venison or deer meat willows. And they just, it's almost like a summer sausage and you chunk it up. That's how I get it. That's right, Carolyn. His first victim came out of Ohio. I swear to God, Clue. Deer jerky is awesome. I agree. Morel mustard. Moral. No, what is that, Thomas? Interesting. What the hell are they, SRB? That was the last one you promised. You're a liar. Stop lying. Every time I say something, you're going to catch it. Mushroom hunting. We used to go mushroom hunting. Not for regular mushrooms, though. I'll tell you right now. Morel mushrooms. I have no idea, unless they're called something else. Mushrooms. Are they happy mushrooms or just mushrooms? Are they like edible, like to eat with food, or are they happy mushrooms? Because if you're talking about happy mushrooms, yes, we've gone hunting for those. I just never knew they were called that. Peckerheads. I've heard them called that too. The peckerhead thing. Oh, yeah, I know what those are. But those are happy mushrooms. We got them all over the place out here. Oh, see, I didn't know they had that name though. Okay, got you. Chicken of the woods mushrooms. That's a new one. Brats on the grill are decent. Yes, they are. Especially if you cook them in beer, Josie. They're amazing. Well, I guess to get started, um, show you something that already did come back. If you guys already saw it, then you did. My apologies. But hold up here. So we all know, because I talked about it last night, and I showed it for anybody that may not have seen or heard it, that Seth did a interview with Justin on TikTok was the channel, and talked about something that went down, so on and so forth. So at that point, of course, at some point, Katie came back and she had a response to that. For those of you that may not have seen it, Here it is. I did, Victoria. Thank you for the email. Let me blow it up a little bit for you guys to see a little bit better. Okay, so now Katie's response to what Steph had stated on that interview is, as you can see, that's her. That's her Facebook. That child was not 13, and we did not allow my son to be abused. We contacted all authorities. My son received all the available help he could get. Multiple therapists involved. His doctor did know because he went to the doctor and got checked immediately. Seth was involved in his therapy as well. There is so many lies in this story, including him failing to mention where Seth got banned from the base for his violent tendencies. Where at the time my son was seeing psychiatrists and psychologists to help him with his trauma from Seth's abuse. Now, I'm going to say something after this. You guys might agree or disagree, but I'm just saying. And the trauma from being assaulted by this child. Let me be clear. I think it's sickening that this man is airing my son's trauma online. My son deserves better than that. When we find him, and I believe in my heart that we will, the truth will come out. He is doing his best to slander us as parents, but my son is loved and cared for and always will be. Public opinion based on lies, assumptions, and half truths is rampant because of things like this, which has nothing to do with finding Sebastian. I will not stoop so low as to partake in a back and forth argument with him. God knows the truth, and the truth always comes out. Please stop the madness and focus on finding Sebastian, because that is the most important thing. And I have to say, I agree with that. It is the most important thing. One thing I'm going to say too is I won't partake in the back and forth. They both need to just stop on both sides doing this. There's no point in this. This does not help in any way, shape, or form. If anything, they need to work together to bring that child home instead of against each other. What was I going to say? I do agree with the fact that it should have not been brought out online, not at this point at all, or any point, you know. So, and I think if the story was told, it should have been told to, you know, this happened, yes, but you know that yes, there was therapy, there was this, there was that. So I think what's fair is fair, you know. And there again, this is a back and forth, and this doesn't need to happen. So that was her response, and I don't know if it's going to come back from the other side again now. And I agree with Clue that either Chris wrote this or yeah, they did it together. But still, none of this needs to be going on, you guys, in my opinion. This is not finding him. This child is not coming home with these three parents going back and forth at each other. It's just not happening. It's not working. It's not what we need. And you guys know that. So there's that. Now, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm so distraught per se because there has been nothing that has shown where this child is. And I'll be honest with you guys. I've been bouncing this around in my head a lot. We know that, okay? That's it right there. That's exactly it right there, Kimber. Seth or Sebastian is completely lost in the middle of all this, and that's not fair. It's not. It shouldn't be that way. So we have to be. I think as the outsiders looking in on this and surrounding all this, we need to be the bigger person and ignore all of this and keep our eyes focused on Sebastian. That's my opinion. You don't have to go with what I'm saying. I'm telling you what I'm doing. So, right, Carolyn, I understand. Yeah, and that's what that could happen. Clue. So, anyway, and that needs to be the focus no matter what, guys. We got to keep remembering that. Find Sebastian, bring him home. Nothing else, nothing left. So, I'm going to do something bad, really bad. I'm going to eat some candy. How many times had the guilty party injured themselves? This is why Ellie tells. Yeah, I can agree. I understand completely, Solus. So, yeah, you can't. Sorry, guys. That was, whoa. I didn't expect that to be that sour. I'm not saying a word, Polly. Pamela, I'm saying I'm staying out of all. I don't want on either side of this. I want to find Sebastian, period. That's what's going on already, Norma. It's turned into a circus because of that stuff. So, one second here. Good Lord, that was sour. I know they're called Sour Patch Kids, but I've had them before and they've never been that bad. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this, guys. We're going to check this out because you guys know how I am with my court TV stuff. Yeah, I don't do the candy thing too often, but there's so much of this crap here, so I'm a rookie. You're right, Cass. So we're going to jump into this. I wanted to show you guys this, and then we're gonna discuss some things that I'm going to show you as well. Thank you so much for the support, a little bit. I do appreciate it. That was hilarious. I know, Kim, that was dumb, wasn't it? A little bit said, I can't let you do something bad alone, so I took a shot of vodka. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. I appreciate you so very much. See what she's doing, guys? She's putting herself out there to support me. So you did it. You did it a little bit. Country Brat, welcome. Davy Jones, welcome back. Good to see you. Irish Glass, thank you for joining us. All right, so this is a little combination of stuff, but like I said, I love my Benny stuff, and I've always shown it to you guys because I think a lot of it does make some sense. And as you can see, this is the area, folks. So it's a good view of it too. All right, let me know if the audio has any problems or anything, but here we go. Welcome, Nevada. Thank you for joining us today.
Inside this beautiful neighborhood in Hendersonville, Tennessee, there is an unsolved mystery. It was a Sunday night going into a Monday morning, and 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers was supposed to be inside his home sleeping. His mother, Katie Rogers, says he went to bed at 9, but was making some noise around 10, including a thud sound. Katie told him to go to sleep. She went to bed at midnight. Then at 6 a.m., Katie woke up. She went to his room to get him ready for school, but Sebastian was gone. She searched the house, and he was nowhere to be found. Sebastian's stepdad, Chris, was not home, and Sebastian's father was at work about 45 minutes away. Police responded and began trying to figure out what happened. That was February 26th. And now, more than a month later, no sign of Sebastian, no sign of foul play, and no answers about what happened to Sebastian. Tonight, we'll take a look at the neighborhood, the search areas. Where could he be? Then we'll take another look at Sebastian's parents. What did they say? What does their body language say? We'll bring in our experts as we continue our investigation into the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. Where did he go? Where did Sebastian go? And did he go there by himself? Was he lured by someone? Did someone do something to him and take him somewhere? We don't know. We don't know. It's more than a month. He's 15 years old. He's a teenage boy with autism. I mean, could he conceivably on his own be that stealth if he's running away from home, running away from something that maybe was happening at home? Could he really sneak out without a trace? Could he go somewhere and not be seen? Could he survive? He didn't just vanish. He did not just vanish. That didn't happen. So every investigation, missing person or a homicide, you've got to look at the people closest to the victim or the missing person and figure out, you know, what do they know? Where were they? What are they saying? So what do they know? Here, you're talking about three parents. One of them was on the show last night. That's his dad. Now, his mom is the one who says, he was with me. He was with me. Stepdad was away, out of town working. Dad lives in another house and was working at the time as well in the morning. So what do the parents know? And that's what everyone's trying to peel through, trying to figure out this mystery. But do they know something that would lead investigators to where he is? Or is this just like, well, let's look over here, let's look over there? Can a 15-year-old really just vanish and there's no lead or like obvious place to look, some sign, some indication, some communications on his phone, evidence of foul play somewhere? And do the parents know anything about what was going on in his world, in his life, whether it's at home, at school, online, somewhere? And obviously, investigators know more than we do, but when you listen to them, you don't know. And were there problems at home, right? You have to start there. Inside this house where he's living, 15 years old, with autism, a teenager, a full-fledged teenager, doing things and acting and reacting the way teenagers do, and acting and reacting as someone with autism does. And is this a problem? Is it causing conflicts between him and mom, him and stepdad? Are there any problems in that home? Were there problems inside that home that would lead to something, right? It could be something happens in the home, there's a conflict, things get physical and something happens. It could be there's tension in the home that makes him want to leave. Either way, you have to understand what's happening in the house to see if that's the reason why, because there has to be a reason. Children don't just vanish. There's a reason why everyone is looking for him. There's a reason why he's not home. But who has that information that can uncover that reason? And then the big question, will they find him? You've got law enforcement searching. His dad has volunteers helping him, and they're searching. People are coming from out of state to help dad search. I'm sure members of the community are keeping their eyes open as well. But will they find him? That's one of the questions I want to deal with tonight. Is the search efforts, the search area, where are they looking? Where could he possibly be? If in fact he left the house barefoot with a flashlight? Like no shoes and a flashlight. How far is he going? How fast is he going? And how does no one see him? How is he not picked up by any camera anywhere? So the sheriff's office speaks to the public because they need the public's help, number one. Number two, it's a huge story locally, nationally. So they want to keep the public informed because they realize that they work for the public. And the Sumner County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Eric Craddock spoke with Nick Barris. Nick was on this show as well from Scripps News Nashville. And again, you know, you listen to every word they say. Listen to every word because they're not saying a lot. And what I'm going to play for you now is not a lot, but listen to every
Hey, Bingos.
I think in the absence of information, what we'll continue to do is go back over everything we've already done once, put a fresh set of eyes on it.
Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Did you hear?
It was a key ring flashlight, so that's what I'm guessing. Possibly Pamela. Yes. Hold on, let me back that up for a quick second. I don't know. The way Seth described it was just a small little thing. I don't know if it was a torch per se, one of the good ones.
Hear every word. We have not cleared anyone. He starts with that, but there's no evidence of foul play. I think that's significant, that no one's been cleared. They're looking for new leads, new evidence. They're going back over things, which is important. Delphi murder case, if they had gone over things, they could have solved that one much less than 5 years. Much less because the information was there. They just needed to check it and recheck it. So that's good that that's happening. I want you to take a look at this video. And this was video, again, Nick Barris from Scripps News Nashville got us from that neighborhood, some security footage. I don't know what it is. It almost looks like one of those UFO videos that we've seen, right? But he described the neighborhood at night. It's pitch dark. There are no streetlights in this beautiful neighborhood. But there's something illuminating there, right? There's something, 3 o'clock in the morning, right in the middle of that window of time, midnight when Katie.
Just so you guys know that may have missed this video is shit to me. I'm sorry. And I think Nick Barris needs, I don't think he should have been able to put this out the way he put it out to us because it was basically a scam, in my opinion, the way he did it. So that's an opinion, my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But again, based on what Seth said, this is a garbage truck, folks. Nothing more, nothing less. So they should have shown the wider version, the wider screen version, and we would have seen what it was, period. You know what I mean? That would have been the end of it. It would have never been speculation that it caused. And I think they did it, or Nick did it, just so that he can get views on that video itself. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, okay? But I'm just saying, I think it was wrong to do it that way. I think Nick, I think that was bullshit that he did that, especially in a case like this, when we're all really actually looking for this child. And what he did was to gain views for his channel. And that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. Yeah, they're saying it's just a regular garbage truck that was coming into the neighborhood to start its garbage thing. What's up, Willie? Good to see you, bud. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you're doing well, brother. Jody, good to see you. Yeah, this case probably would have drove you nuts, Willie. Honestly, be honest with you. But that's just my opinion, guys. Nobody has to agree with me at all. I don't expect it. I'm just saying I feel that way about this, and this guy should have known better, in my opinion.
He says she goes to sleep 6 a.m. when she's looking for her son. So again, let's take a listen to Eric Craddock speaking with Nick Barris about that video.
Yeah, if you have a link you want to send here, Jody, you're welcome to. I'd love to see it as well. To make a better assumption of it, you know what I'm saying? There's the email up on the screen if you should choose to send it. If not, no worries. Oh, I didn't get to see that, luckily, Willie, because I don't even care about that at this point.
No evidentiary value?
It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No,
Why?
because the investigation remains ongoing.
And so it could play a role down the road depending on developments?
We don't know what we don't know. So yes, it could play a role.
See, the officer, he even sounds like he's irritated with Nick too, and I don't blame him, honestly. I really don't. I got you, Willie. Tori Wheat, welcome. Uh, 100% Salty. Good to see you, by the way. Welcome in, Stitches. Thank you for joining us. Good to have all you guys here. Appreciate you very much.
I listened to every word, but I didn't understand it. Do they know what it is and they don't want to say? Because he didn't say that. He was asked directly, do you know what it is? You could say, yes, I do, but I can't tell you. But that's not what he said. So it doesn't have evidentiary value, maybe because they can't identify what it is. Again, where are we in all this? Okay, so I want to get a better idea of this neighborhood, this house, the environment, where he could have gone,
the same thing,
where the searchers are actually looking. So we need to bring in our friend from Portland, Oregon, podcaster, Gray Hughes, who you can watch on YouTube at Gray Hughes Investigates. And obviously, he's been going through all of this stuff, mapping it, finding as much as he can. And he joins us today. Gray, great to see you.
Good to see you today.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Let's begin. We've got some images from one of those realty sites of the exterior of Sebastian's home. So if you could tell me from your perspective, maybe we could drop those words below so we can see the whole pictures. Tell us about the house, what you've noticed, and what interests you in this house.
It's just really just the layout now makes total sense. I think right now we're looking at the back of the house, and on the left-hand side is, right there on the left is Faith's bedroom. She's in the back. And when we were looking at the front of the house, the one singular square window on the right, that's Sebastian's bedroom.
So it's first level, it's ground level. It's not an upstairs bedroom. These are downstairs bedrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
That is Sebastian's room right there, guys. That's what he's talking about. So again, like I said, this is his bedroom right here, and the bedroom in the backside is Chris's daughter's room.
Upstairs, there's like a bonus room.
And what I was talking about last night was, hold on a minute here. 1 second here.
Back of the house, and on the left-hand side is, right there on the left is Faith's bedroom. She's in the back. And when we were looking at the front of the house, the one singular square window on the right, that's Sebastian's bedroom.
So it's first level, it's ground level. It's not an upstairs bedroom. These are downstairs bedrooms.
So like I said, that's his bedroom. If he would have come out, he could have very well came out of that window, one of those windows. Of course, it doesn't look like that right now. Or the other, thank you, Jody, or the back one. He could have snuck around into that room and went out the back window, pulled the screen up out the window, and down he goes. It's not a far drop at all, folks. It's not a big deal. It's really not. It's very easy to do. So, welcome, Golf Inspector. Let me see. Where are we at here? So yeah, I mean, it's very possible that's how he went out. Okay. Not saying that's fact, just saying it's a possibility. Well, no, that's what I'm saying, you guys. The screen could have just slid up or down. You don't have to knock the screen out. You could have opened the window, then opened the screen. Okay. And then went out the window, pulled the window down, then pulled the screen down. It wouldn't be hard to do. You can do it on my windows. I have the same windows. So just saying, he's 15, Willie.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Upstairs, there's like a bonus room, really big room. You could put a pool table or something like that, but it's not a bedroom.
So,
And
I'm looking at the house, right? The back. It looks like there are ways, right, to get in and out, right? I mean, there's a back entrance, a front entrance. I don't think they had security. They didn't have a Ring camera.
right there, it looks like there's a mud room there, and right outside the mud room is where the couch in the living room would be, where she would have heard Sebastian when he made the noise at about 10 o'clock, a thud sound, and she said, "Hey, did you fall off your bed? Get back to sleep," or whatever the terminology was that she used. But that was around 10, so she would have heard him from there. But when she went to her bedroom, which is in the back of the house in the far right. So if we get back to the back of the house, it's on the right-hand side. So it's kitty corner all the way across the house. So see, it's actually behind this shot right here because this is the mud room here.
I think he's meaning to say catty corner, not kitty corner. But anyway,
Well, let's do this. We've got some video from inside as well. Let's roll some of the video from inside so people can see. Again, this is from one of those realty sites. And again, beautiful house, beautiful neighborhood. But go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I think that was just like an office that you could have in there. And then right through there is that mud room. This is the master bedroom with the 2 windows. That's in the back of the house on the far right. This room right here is Sebastian's room. And this room right here is, I forgot, a Faith's bedroom, right? And that's the front door right there. It's hard when it's moving so quick.
It's moving very fast. Well, let's do this to give people some perspective. We've got a sort of a top view that is similar to what you put in your video. And I think this will give you an opportunity to describe for us the bedrooms. And I see Sebastian's is labeled, and that's as you described, the front. If you're looking at the house, it's the front right. If you're in the house, it's front left.
Well, see, on that screen, what we're looking at right there, you see Stafford Court right there on the right. That one dot should be, I believe, like the dot for Sebastian should be further down and right on the corner there. And then the other bedroom on the far bottom right-hand corner is actually Faith's room, if I'm looking at this correctly here. And then the master bedroom is where in the upper right-hand corner. See how it's all the way across the house? And yeah. So she wouldn't have heard anything. So that couch is right there. So when she went to sleep, it's a keypad operated doors. So I was thinking earlier, like, man, if he got out of the house, the door would be unlocked unless he brought his keys with him. But then it turns out it's a keypad lock. So he could have just gone out the sunroom and left. And, one of the things I keep thinking about is, do you remember the Harrie Dilley case? Kid that he was.
Don't be taking my sunshine, Gray. I brought that up a long time ago. Harrie Dilley. That's the case I was telling you guys about from here, up near Sandusky, Ohio, where he went missing for, I can't remember exactly how long. I think it was 4 or 5 weeks. Okay. And he literally walked across the street to an abandoned house and crawled up the antenna and went down inside a chimney and got stuck. I've been thinking about that from week 2 of this case. It's been bugging me. And that's why I asked when one of the interviews was up if they checked any abandoned houses, things like that. And now you're going to bring this up. It drives me nuts. Gray, come on, bro. I brought that up a while ago, and I was praying to God that somebody would have caught on to that and maybe went and looked around in some of these homes, because it was mentioned that Sebastian likes small spaces. He likes to hide. Well, Harrie, that's what he did, guys. He crawled up inside the chimney, went down, it slipped, and got stuck. and ended up passing on there. 100%, Carolyn. They should check chimneys and things like that in a case like this, because it does happen. Oh, wow.
14 years old in Ohio, and everybody was all over the parents going, oh, look at this lady, because he was missing. Exactly the same story. And he ends up being found at a neighbor's house. He had gone up the chimney and got stuck in between the wall. And so they actually found him 24 days later. So could there be something like that? And in this case, where he got out and he likes to play hide and seek, and he went into some place and he couldn't get out. And I thought it was a good idea that they went and searched that area with a more micro look to see if they could find him in crevices and things like that.
And that's something his father mentioned in one of his interviews, because he knows his son and the way he is. And he was imploring the public, listen, if you're looking and you see a place like, oh, no, he wouldn't go there, check that place, because he's a little quirky, and he might be in a place that you wouldn't expect to find someone, or you wouldn't expect someone to be perhaps hiding in that area. I want to and you made a great point, though, that the master bedroom, as far away from his room as possible in that home.
Exactly.
So if you're getting out, you could potentially get out. And I wasn't sure if it was upstairs, downstairs, but everybody's on that ground floor, which also makes it a little bit easier to get out of the house. There's no creaking stairs. You're not going to hear someone above you getting out of bed. The one thing, though, is the thud. It would have been very easy for her to get up, though, and check on him and find out what the thud was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she just yelled.
I agree.
Out there
she could have done that
because she was reading. Probably didn't want to get up, and just yelled back. And he said, "Oh, I'm fine." So that calmed her. If he hadn't responded, I'm sure she would have walked back there. In my opinion, anyways. I mean, there's a lot of people that are, sort of going against the family, the parents, and I'm going to go. Law enforcement in that last press conference seemed to go as close as you could get. I see exactly what you're saying in that intro, how it's couched with nobody's been cleared, but they said they've been cooperating since the beginning. They've done everything that they've asked them to do, and they can't find anything associated with them leading to foul play. So they do say that they're still looking, at any possibilities. So who knows where it'll lead, but I think it's very possible that he just left the house. Now, maybe he left because he didn't like being there. So
right. There's a reason. There might be a reason to leave, and I've been talking about this, and I asked his father last night, is it possible he could have been lured by friends? And he didn't think so because of the way his perception of time, that like if someone said, hey, let's leave at, meet me at 3 a.m. or whatever, he doesn't compute that way, is the way Seth described that. But I want to put on the screen a wider view of where the house is and what's surrounding the house, and get your take on that area. Because if he is, in fact, walking out, potentially barefoot, with a flashlight, I'm looking at this area, and one thing just jumps out. I mean, there is this huge forested area here, these woods, which are extremely close to where the house is.
Yeah, and those woods are absolutely just thick. I mean, as you can imagine. And there's a creek. See that road on the far right that goes north? There's a creek right along that, almost acting as a barrier. And there are just tons and tons of little ponds and water areas inside of this whole area. And one thing I was wondering about is there's a lot of swimming pools at people's homes. I don't know in that area if they cover their pools, but let's say somehow he got into one of those. Has everybody checked their swimming pools by pulling off the cover to see if he happened to go in there? I mean, I think that's a possibility, because there's dozens and dozens of swimming pools right around in the area.
And I think what's crucial, I mean, you have to do this extensive search in every area that's close. That is close. I go back to the Casey Anthony case, and they were searching everywhere, and little Kaylee Marie was found in the closest wooded area to the Anthony's home, 10 feet into the woods. I mean, it was that close. It's almost like the first place you would look if someone was trying to get rid of something. Where's the closest wooded area? There it is. And it wasn't even deep. So I'm with you that, I'm glad that they're back searching in this area as well. Gray Hughes, great information. Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Make sure you check it out. But after this show, Gray, we're not sending them over yet. You got to wait till this show's over.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
All
right, folks. When we come back, we're going to bring in some experts. We're going to go through some of the comments made by the parents, some of the body language. Does it all make sense? Plus, coming up next hour. Big news in Kissimmee, Florida, connected to the Madeline Soto murder investigation as the medical examiner releases information connected to the autopsy report. Was this murder an act of domestic violence?
We believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body.
We're getting into that too today, guys, just so you know.
In the early morning hours on that day.
History here. And I understand parents that aren't together, don't always see eye to eye on everything. But he seemed pretty specific about, again, under her watch. He was not confident in the way that she was handling, parenting, and
their country brat. There is a crawl space in the house. It's toward, if you're standing in front of the house, looking forward from the road to the back right of the house in the back, you could see it. Little white door. The house sits on a slab, so all of the access to the plumbing, electrical, all that kind of stuff runs through where the crawl space would be up inside that. That's how they get to it. So.
And, setting rules and everything else for Sebastian. Take a listen, because he went into more detail about it here, about what he does and what they were working towards, which I thought was really significant.
And if there's no routine, then autistic children don't act the same way they're supposed to.
Look, Davey, if you're trying to cause some friction or harassment or whatever, let's not do that. If you're here because you care about this case and Sebastian, that's fine. I appreciate the support. If not, let's not do this, okay? It's not a joke. That's all I'm saying.
When I've had him, there's a routine in my house when I have him. And he's a teenager. You're going to listen. You're going to hear some back talk probably. I mean, they're growing. They're going to rebel some way. They're teenagers.
Okay, first of all, we're all talking. No reason for you to scream and yell like that. What don't you buy? There's nothing to buy or not buy. Nobody knows anything, so you have nothing to buy. So explain that without yelling, okay, or acting immature, I should say. I'm sorry.
So you're going to listen to it. You're going to have to deal with it. But you still got to remember that you're a parent. And you have to adjust your lifestyle to be able to make sure that they can adjust and learn and still grow. You can't do some of the things that I've seen her do in the past. Most of my discussions were actually taken care with Chris.
Have a nice day.
And Sebastian was supposed to come live with me.
Pamela, can you verify, please, that he left home no shoes and a key ring, torch, but was afraid of the dark? Yeah. Based on my understanding, that's everything that we know, Polly. So, again, guys, not being rude, mean, or ignorant. I'm not that type of a person, but I'm not going to have people in here harassing each other, being ignorant, taking this. This is not a joke. It's serious, okay? So we're not in here to talk about Amazon and lies about Crane working. And I mean, come on, whatever the hell the conversation was, it doesn't make any sense. We're talking about Sebastian Rogers. That's what we're talking about, and the other things that we're going to talk about. So come on, let's be mature here, okay?
Chris was working on Katie on getting her to agree to it, and all I wanted was my son to come live with me.
Hey, Heather.
Now, in a YouTube live stream today with the host of Justin on TikTok,
Welcome,
Seth
Greg.
Rogers made some shocking claims about an instance of sexual abuse while Sebastian was living in California with his mother, and why Seth says Chris Proudfoot wanted Sebastian to live with him. Before we play this next clip, you should know Court TV has not independently verified these allegations made by Seth.
There was another CPS incident in California at her house. Katie and Chris let a child into their house that was 5 years older than my son. My son was 7 or 8 at the time, and this kid was 13. She has a habit of not checking on her kid. They were letting this kid play with my son, and they weren't checking on him. And then this kid took my son's innocence, and he molested him.
Worst nightmare.
My son around his daughter.
I agree. Grave Evidence podcast. First of all, welcome. If you didn't hear me, thank you for joining us. And I do. It's way going the other direction, away from finding Sebastian. It's turned into a circus, and it seems to have become a facilitator for these parents to go at each other. Sadly, that's it, and that's not what this is about at all. So I agree with you.
Because Chris has turned around into my mother told my mom, your grandson's a pedophile. No, he's not. He's a victim that hasn't got the help that he deserves and that he needs so that he can get over the traumatic incident that has happened to him. That should have never happened underneath their watch to begin with. That's why Chris doesn't want my son around his daughter, because he's scared that my son is going to do the same thing that was done to him under his watch.
Very sad, Heather. Very sad.
It's heartbreaking. Let's bring in our guest to make some sense of all of this in Miami, Florida. Body language and communications expert and instructor at the Body Language Institute, Tiffany Lee, is with us. In Pensacola, Florida, private investigator Lauren Vellucci. And in Los Angeles, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert, witness, and columnist Dr. Carol Lieberman. Tiffany.
Everybody, I say this every time she comes on, but please take anything Dr. Lieberman says with a grain of salt, because I think she's a little off. That's all. The rest of the panel, no problems. This lady right here, Dr. Lieberman, something's not right with her in some senses, so just be careful what she says.
Tiffany Lee, I want to begin with you. You've seen Dad here in several circumstances. I see the emotion. I see the frustration. What are you seeing and hearing from Seth Rogers?
Exactly. Everything you just said, Benny. I mean, when I first started watching clips of him, what we see consistently is, until he talks about the sexual assault, his tone is the same. He doesn't necessarily raise his voice or go really low. His tone is consistent. Even his blink rate, at the rate at which he's blinking his eyes, is consistent with him being truthful and being honest. But what I will say is, whenever he brings up the wife, he does a lip compression, which is where we kind of press our lips together. And that is something that can indicate a strong negative emotion. So definitely watch for that and pay attention, but he really does indicate that there's definitely some tension between the two, for sure.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, something happened, right? Something happens. It seems that from what Seth is saying here, if it's true, there is tension in that home. You've got a 15-year-old boy with autism, teenager, allegedly molested. Stepdad has a daughter that's in the house sometimes. Stepdad allegedly accusing Sebastian of being some sort of pedophile and is afraid of this cycle taking place. To me, this is serious stuff we're talking about, Dr. Lieberman.
Yes, absolutely. And also, you know, when he puts his mouth in that way, it's also, you know, closes it like that. It also reflects his trying to prevent himself from saying what he really thinks about his ex-wife. So, you know, I mean, of course, it's a lot of times
Let's light
autistic
up the
children,
chat, guys.
depending upon
Lord of
where
Sebastian,
they are on the
please. I like to
spectrum
do
and
this every
exactly what's
time I talk
wrong,
about him.
they are more
You guys know what to
vulnerable
do. Please
to
do what you
getting
can.
sexually abused and being abused in general. You know, it's sad that at that point, I mean, something should have happened at that point, ideally, that Sebastian should have been taken away from the mother and stepfather. And obviously, he would have been a lot better off with his real biological father. And there's also another story about how the mother allowed him to be exposed. This is a different incident, but allowed him to be exposed to a man who had been in jail for pedophilia. Now, there's no, I have not heard specifically that he did, in fact, that this other man did abuse
I agree, Terry.
Sebastian too. But I mean, but the father was really.
I agree, Terry. Sorry, guys. I forget that the sound overlaps and it's so loud. Thank you, Salty, for redirecting me, ma'am. Appreciate you very much. Again, guys, I was trying to say, light up the chat, if you will, please, in support of Sebastian. You guys all typically, you already started it, know what to do. I appreciate that very much. I like to do that every time that we talk about him, just to show that we do support this. And we are Sebastian Strong. So thank you, guys. I see you all doing it.
Upset that why is she letting a known pedophile around our son?
Lauren Vellucci, and this has been, I think, the theme from the beginning, right? That children don't just vanish. They don't just disappear. Something happened. Now we're hearing about a little bit about potential tension in this home, a reason for him to perhaps want to leave, a reason for there to be conflict, a reason for something to happen. And I think this is an avenue, as they've described everyone as cooperating, but I think investigators would need to sort of peel back the layers of everything that was happening here.
Absolutely. And Hendersonville is actually a town that I know a good bit about. I have a dear friend that grew up there. It's also where Taylor Swift went to high school. And it's a very safe community. It's a great place to raise a family. So as you were saying that, I was thinking that when Seth Rogers last night said that he mostly communicated with the stepdad, that was odd to me in a lot of reasons. And it signals to me that there is a tumultuous relationship. So if he was potentially going to live back with his father, you know, this is sad, but we have seen it so many times that the mom or dad or family member potentially not wanting them, but not wanting the other spouse to have the child. And that's the worst case scenario, but it has happened, sadly, and we know about that. So, that is a concern as well. Yeah,
I agree. And I think understanding all the dynamics and anything that's happening in their lives, because it can go many different ways. It can give him a reason to want to get out of the house as well, but there has to be a reason. Children don't just vanish. Everyone's staying with us. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the parents. These are the three people closest in the world to Sebastian Rogers, who is still missing.
All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you. I went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. And
I do agree with that too. I've always questioned that. I understand that he may not have had a habit or a past with doing it. There's always a first time for everything. And knowing that this child very possibly could elope, being on the spectrum, is something that would have automatically given me I would have just automatically put in window and door alarms for that point. Okay. I had to do certain things when Caden was small because he did things like that, where he would try to escape. And that's one thing I didn't do on my windows. I regretted. Thank God it never ended up being a bad thing. But, after the fact, I did. So welcome, Gray and Jesse. Good to see you guys. So I don't understand why that was never done. That's another thing I have a little bit of a problem with, considering the research shows you and tells you all that. So I agree with. I just wanted to remark on that comment. Clue, thanks for bringing that up.
About midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he went in here.
So there's stepdad and mom's the one really talking, right? Describing what happened that day. That's on the Chronicles of Olivia. Really fascinating interview. I showed that clip, or a bigger piece of that clip, to Sebastian's dad, Seth, on the show last night. And here's part of his reaction to that.
I'm not here to sling mud, but why is she asking Chris to verify what she did on Sunday when Chris wasn't here on Sunday?
Okay, so now let's play a longer piece of that clip so you can see the dynamic between Katie and Chris as Katie's talking about what happened that day. Let's watch.
I agree, Justin.
We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley. And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway.
Here's the thing, Tracy, and that there's no excuse. I'm sorry, I won't accept excuses on that. We ran to get help because when we first started noticing that there was issues, we knew something was not right. I guess maybe it helps a little because we both have medical backgrounds. Maybe I can say that. But then we did every bit of research we could possibly do. Doctors definitely helped us in every fashion that we could. We reached out to them though because we wanted that. We strived for that information to know what we could do to make his life easier, to make it makes our lives easier too as parents when they're little, to be able to do these things to make their life better. You see what I'm saying? You have to want that information. You have to go looking for that information in some. They don't just throw it at you. Once you go to them for it, then yes, they will help you with every bit of it. There was no problems, and then there were things offered to us, things sent to us, but we had to go looking for it at first. You have to do that. So when you notice that you have a child that is different in that sense, we ran to it, guys. We ran to go figure out what we could do to make things more normalized for him and for us as parents. And it makes your life easier when you have these resources and know that you can go to these resources to get these things, to make these things more understood. Do you know what I'm saying? So, at the age of 2, we started noticing there were some differences than from what we saw in our other 6 children that we had raised at that age, and started saying, well, could there be something that's a little bit more, a little different? Well, of course. So then we go, and they can't diagnose. From my understanding, what we found out back then was that they couldn't diagnose until he was 6 at all with anything because of developmental stages. Okay. So at 6, we ran and said, okay, now what do we do? What do you think? Well, his diagnosis came off that he was chronic attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Okay. I have it. I had it. We didn't know what it was when I was a kid, but I have it as an adult. We can deal with that. And then within a couple of weeks, we had to go back for something else. And then there was, well, at the same time, we do believe that he may be on the spectrum. Okay. Where? Okay. Well, you know, we have to see. They had to give it another year or so, but it was basically what I guess you could call level 1. Okay. Which, again, I hate using this terminology, but it's a very high functioning level because there's a lot of things that he could do, accomplish, and understand that level 2, 3, 4, and 5 don't. Okay. He's verbal for one. He has understanding of right and wrong, anger, happiness, sadness, those things right there. And so there's the difference. Now, that was one thing I was just getting ready to say. Based on what we've understood, though, is that Sebastian was only just diagnosed a year ago. But Seth also made mention in another interview that he had it when he was younger. They knew he had it, but he was never diagnosed until just this past year or so. So you have to go and reach out to get the resources, but they are there. Once you reach out to them, we had to struggle for IEP because his IQ, when he just did this testing, his IQ came off too high, and they said he don't need one. Well, IQ has nothing to do with an IEP when it comes to being on the spectrum or ADHD. He was also diagnosed with he was diagnosed with chronic ADHD, also oppositional defiant disorder, generalized to high aspect and anxiety, as well as OCD. Every bit of those things I have, except for I even had the oppositional defiant disorder when I was younger. So he's pretty much a carbon copy of me. But I'm an adult now, and you see how well functionable I am. Okay. I was never medicated. That's because I was just a bad kid when I was a kid. That's how they diagnosed it back then, because there was none of this stuff. I grew out of some of it. I've learned how to, I guess, not self-medicate, but self-tolerate my issues. And some of them are right here in your face. You guys see it every day, which is why I drink coffee like it's going out of style, because it brings me down. If I didn't drink coffee, you guys, I would probably try to be building a house off the back of my house while I'm talking to you. I'm just telling you, I really am wired on without that stuff. But all of these things are available when you go looking for them. It absolutely is, Mittens. That's where it came from. That's why there's no medication for oppositional defiant. You just basically, the medications that you take for your ADHD, there's really no medication for autism level 1. Okay. They're basically ADHD medications that they put you on for that, which is what Caden takes, is methylphenidate, and things like that. But the coffee or Mountain Dew or anything caffeinated, if you are ADHD as an adult, it brings you down. It really does work, I'm telling you. So that's why sometimes you guys will see me sitting here, like I think somebody noticed it earlier, and it seems like I look like I'm dozing because I get tired when I start drinking coffee as compared to wired. So it's interesting, just saying. But it's there, guys. The researchers are
about 9 o'clock. Told him to go to bed. And he come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock I went to wake him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he wasn't here.
Okay, our guest back with us, Tiffany Lee, Dr. Carol Lieberman, Lauren Vellucci. Tiffany Lee, your thoughts, anything that you saw from mom, from stepdad?
For sure, it's a lot of what I didn't see. So when you're watching this clip and you understand what's going on, I would expect to see, and I'm sure you all can agree, more emotion. You know, if this was your 15-year-old son who is now missing, I would expect to see more visible emotion, maybe even some shaking and an actual tear. And we're just not seeing that here. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And something else I'm noticing is that the interaction between Chris and Katie, they don't make eye contact at all. I would think if this was your stepson and your son, they would maybe be a little more closer, physically supporting each other. But it's just like this kind of random, she looks over this way. When he's talking, he's not looking at her. She's not looking at him. She does kind of glance over in his direction as almost to get approval for what she's saying. But there's really something that feels off here. But my biggest thing is the lack of emotion that is being shown.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, what did you see? What did you notice? What's significant here?
Well, there's a huge difference between this couple and Sebastian's father. I mean, his father is acting like someone generally acts when their son is missing, and they're very devastated by it. I think they looked like robots, first of all, no feeling. But in particular, I think she looks like the typical woman who has been abused. I've treated a number of women who have been abused, and it's like this, not only robot-like, but her eyes down, deferred. Even when she looks at him, it's like kind of for approval, but it's more than that. It's like that she has been, she's afraid. There's some fear there, and I think that he has a lot of control over her. And when he was telling Sebastian's father, yes, let's have Sebastian live with you, she would have felt betrayed. If she wants Sebastian living with her, she would have felt betrayed by Chris. And that would have led to a lot of tension in the household.
Lauren, does the story itself make sense to you? Are there other things that you need to fill in what happened here?
It's a lot of detail that is not necessary. And I can tell you that happens when people are lying, like the size of that popcorn.
Colossal.
Colossal. It doesn't add any weight or any kind of anything to finding your son. And I need to know why these people are not searching. And I need to know why they've left town.
Tiffany Lee, Dr. Carol Lieberman, Lauren Vellucci, we're out of time for tonight, but obviously this story continues as the search for Sebastian continues. Thank you all so much. When we come back, folks, I will reveal something else
so much,
that, yes,
appreciate
you
that very much.
absolutely need to know tonight. Time to reveal something else you need to know tonight. Let's take a look at the big board. And there he is, the defendant in the biggest case that we're tracking here on Court TV, the Idaho student murders. And he and his attorneys want the trial moved. They want a change of venue. And one thing that they're doing is they're calling residents in the area with a survey to try to prove to the judge that they're already it'll be impossible to find fair and impartial jurors. Well, the prosecution and the judge concerned about the questions they're asking, because by calling all these people and asking the questions, they're actually tainting the jury pool. Here are the questions. Have you read, seen, or heard DNA found on the knife sheath was later matched to the killer? Have you read, seen, or heard if the cell phone tower data shows that the accused killer made several trips near the victim's home in the month before the killing? Have you read, seen, or heard if the accused killer said he was driving alone on the night of the murders? This is all great evidence for the prosecution, but if all the potential jurors know that already, then they're going to have to move it. So they wanted to stop calling and asking those questions in these surveys. His wife, Lori Valadabel, has already been convicted.
Now, will her husband end up with the same fate?
It's just so hard to know where the truth ends.
It's the doomsday prophet, Chad Daybell, on trial.
All right, guys. So we're going to kind of push forward towards into the Soto stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about now. Did anybody have any questions or anything about any of this stuff so far? We're not supposed to be in Idaho. It was just a part of they were an advertisement. Sorry, guys. My apologies. Trying to get through it. All right, here we are.
It shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in a dumpster in that
That's okay,
apartment
Kat.
complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th.
On the docket tonight in Oakland County, Michigan, Judgment Day for the Oxford school shooter parents is coming as they prepare for sentencing. And I'm Vinny Politan. Great to have you with us here in Closing Arguments. Big hour, big news tonight. And I want to get right to it. We're talking about the case of Madeline Soto. You know who she is, 13 years old. Goes missing the day after her birthday party. She is found dead 22 miles from home. Her mother's boyfriend locked up because of the images on his phone showing this little angel being sexually abused. Those are the allegations. So he's locked up facing those charges. No one has been charged with her murder. And something happened to her. Somebody killed her. Well, guess what? We may have some more information tonight. More information tonight related to this case. Part of the investigation, and we've heard this, is the autopsy. Cause, manner of death, everything that you find, the images, the pictures, forensic evidence, all of that. The medical examiner's report is such a crucial part of any investigation, but especially this one. Especially this one. She's found discarded. Obviously, something happened to her. What happened to her?
For those of you that are just jumping in, possibly, we just had our conversation about Sebastian. We're moving into the Madeline Soto portion of what we're going to talk about today. And like I said, at some point, I'm going to open things up and let everybody speak out about everything because it's a wide open scenario about multiple things today. So thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out, guys. It's awesome. Thank you. Welcome, Opinionated. Whenever I'm in an emotional situation where people expect me to cry, like a funeral, I don't cry. It's almost like I have a guard up in front of people, but the second I'm alone, I burst into tears. A lot of people are like that. That's actually fairly normal, Opinionated. It's a, there's actually a term for that. I can't think of it right now, but it does happen a lot. Randy Furr, my brother, good to see you today. Yeah, right, Willie. Miss Wisdom, thank you for joining us. Good to see you again today. Thank you for joining us. You're so welcome here. I appreciate you very much. Got to leave. I found your channel. Great. Take care. I'll be sure to see you later. Take care, Philip. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much, my friend. Great to see you, Randy. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Well, we've got information reporting from WFTV down in Orlando. The medical examiner's office said Thursday that it cannot release its report on Madeline Soto's autopsy. Okay, you're going to say, Vinny, well, what are you telling us? You're telling us nothing here. This is nothing. This is a big nothing, right? No. The reason why they can't release it, take a listen. Just like last hour, listen to every word. The medical examiner's office said the report is confidential and exempt from being publicly released because it involves a, quote, minor whose death was related to an act of domestic violence, end quote. The quote is from the law down there. The quote is from the law. If a minor is killed as a result of domestic violence, those autopsy results don't become public. New law in Florida. What are they telling us?
All right, all you Floridians, what is up with this? That's a whole new thing for me. I never heard of that before. And how, and that's my curiosity now, how and why is Maddie's death listed as death from domestic violence? That's interesting to me. It is very strange. I agree, Heather, and maybe that's why the charges haven't been presented at this point. That's why I wanted you guys to see this. I thought this was really interesting, and answers a lot of questions about Maddie's case that we've all had. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in as we jump into this part of this. This is quite interesting to me. I would imagine you're right, Carolyn. They would have to reveal it in a trial. I don't know if that's it, Heather. Good God, I hope not, but because that is bizarre. I don't know. Hopefully this gets explained a little bit more through here for you guys. I'm still not completely understanding the way this is being presented, but that's something I'm going to be looking into to tell you the truth to understand it better. And that's what my guess is that it was a physical, like maybe she was beaten to death or something. I think somebody just said, who just said that in here? Skinny said, I don't know if that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, Skinny.
The death is related to an act of domestic violence. Oh, we've narrowed the suspects now. We've narrowed them way down. Way down. This is a big development tonight, WFTV.
Now, oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. She did say that no autopsy report will be made public in Maddie's case because Florida won't allow it, because she's a minor probably. But they're saying that it's related in relation to the domestic violence charge, or because the death was due to domestic violence. I'm sorry. So is this going to come out that it was him that did it or the mother that did it? That's my curiosity now, because you know what I mean? I don't know. This is a whole turn of events to me. And like I said, don't take any of this yet, guys, for anything until we find out exactly what it was. I wonder if Jen was given a copy. No, then she's involved. Good point, Salty. Good point. Sherry, it's not that odd. They do the same thing. And okay. Yeah, it was new. I've never heard of that here in Ohio. Domestic violence means inside the home. Thank you, Kara. DV also, but she was taken and dropped off. Obviously, Stern's her mom, but something's definitely been off with this from the beginning. But here we go.
Now, let's go through the timeline once again. If it's the first time you're hearing this little girl's name, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened here and what we know. It starts Sunday, February 25th. Madeline Soto celebrates her 13th birthday. Her mom Jen, unable to go because she was working, so she's not there. We've seen pictures. There are plenty of other people there. It's at a relative's house, and that's the dress she was wearing, and she was running around outside as well. Monday, February 26th, that's when Madeline Soto is reported missing. 8:40, Stephen Stearns, the live-in boyfriend of mom, claims to have dropped her off 0.4 miles away from Hunters Creek Middle School. 4:30, Jen, the mom, goes to pick Madeline up, but learns that she never made it to school. And then at 8 o'clock, Jen reports Madeline missing. Next day, Jen Soto, February 27th, and Stephen Stearns sit down with WFTV for an interview. Stern appears very emotional about Madeline's disappearance, claiming the worst part is not knowing. Jen states the last time she saw Madeline was Sunday night, or the last time she spoke to her was Sunday night. Wednesday, February 28th, the search for Madeline. Several agencies combined to aid in this search. Over 50 members of an emergency response team are present. Later that day, Wednesday night now, February 28th, this was the big revelation. Stephen Stearns is arrested on unrelated charges, but are they unrelated? 2 counts of sexual battery and possession of material of sexual performance by a child. That victim, we believe, is Madeline. On his phone, that he told officers when he handed over the phone, I accidentally did a factory reset, but here you can take a look at it. Well, they took a look and they found stuff. Thursday, February 29th, police announced they believe Madeline is already dead and named Stearns as the prime suspect. They believe she was never dropped off. Then they explained that Stearns was spotted ditching her backpack and school-issued laptop the morning of her disappearance. 7:35 in the dumpster in the neighborhood. He's getting rid of the backpack and the laptop. They also claim that they see him returning in his car to the neighborhood with Madeline in there, and she's dead at 8:19. Flash forward, Friday, March 1st, Madeline's body is discovered off of Hickory Tree Road, 17 miles from her home. Police say that Stephen Stearns was spotted nearby changing a tire that afternoon, around 1:30 or so. Friday, March 12th, 60 more charges filed against Stearns. All of these, we believe, involved the abuse and battery and molestation of Madeline. Let's bring in our guests. Joining us tonight in Orlando, Florida, from WFTV, investigative reporter Shannon Butler on top of this story. Also with us, editor of the Osceola News-Gazette, Ken Jackson, on top of this story on the ground in Central Florida. Shannon, let me start with you. I want to go through 911 calls in just a second, but just to get your reaction, are you with me on this? Death related to an act of domestic violence. There's only two people, there's three people living in that home, right?
Yeah, it certainly narrows it down. There's no question now, right, that it was someone that was that close to her. It is still unclear, though, Vinny, in the last few weeks, just who may have been in that house and when. We know that it was Stephen Stearns.
And I'm telling you guys, the way I've been looking at this, the length of time it's taken, I've had people send me emails and we've talked about this. There's a possibility that it come out that Jen was responsible for this in some way too. The physicality side of it, as far as maybe beating or whatever. I'm not ruling anything out at this point with either one of these two, because I just have so many problems with her as well. Not as many as I have with him, because he's just puke to me, but something else is wrong with her, in my opinion. Something's not right with her, okay? And I'm just saying, I'm not going to be surprised if it comes out that she was involved in the death as well, possibly, okay? So I'm just saying, don't be surprised if something comes out like that down the road, because I've had an inkling about that for a while. Just saying. I actually had a conversation with somebody via email talking about the fact that they believed that she was really responsible for her death and that he's the one that cleaned up the mess for her. I know that sounds like what? But I'm not surprised, and I won't be surprised. I'll be honest with you.
We know that Madeline's mother was there. We know that Madeline was there. The question is, was there anyone else there, a relative in that time period that's still a little fuzzy, that even investigators are trying to piece together? But it is very clear in that autopsy now, because of that medical examiner, that this was definitely at the hands of somebody who knew her.
Yeah, and Ken Jackson, domestic violence, I guess it could be in a car. I guess that would be still technically domestic violence. But if you're dropped off in the church parking lot, a stranger doesn't commit domestic.
Exactly, Salty. We talked about this. As sick as it is to sound that an adult woman could be jealous of her child's relationship with her boyfriend. Guys, we know people not everybody's locked down tight up top, okay? Everything and anything can happen these days. Nothing surprises me anymore. As disgusting as it is fact, folks, sometimes. So these are good points and great point again, Salty. Thank you.
Violence.
No, and the story all along has been that, well, first it started out that Jen Soto and Stephen dropped her off, and then the story changed to, well, Stephen took her. A defense attorney is going to hammer away on, because we had the birthday party the day before, that, okay, well, there were other people that were around the day before. But yeah, like I said, the word domestic, that narrows it down to anybody who lived in the house. And we don't have any evidence that there was anybody else other than Stephen and Jennifer, the mom. So like Shannon said, yeah, this narrows it down. And, Florida has some of the most broad public records laws in the country. That's why I thought we would get at least a
thank you, Heather,
redacted version of the examiner's report. I guess we're not going to. So yeah, but we've got it narrowed down.
All right, let's listen now. Also, 911 calls. let's take a listen to the first one, and then I want to get your analysis based on everything that we know, what we learned from this call. Let's
Pay close attention, guys.
911, what's the location of your emergency? And do you need police, fire, or medical?
Police, possibly. I'm reporting a missing child.
Okay. And the child that you're trying to report missing, are you calling on behalf of the parent?
Yes, on behalf of the mother.
Okay. Okay. And then and ma'am, how old is the child? And could I go ahead and get her name?
Yes, it's.
And is she white, black, or Hispanic?
She's white.
Okay. And
dirty blonde hair, blue eyes.
Okay, hold on with me here. And then what color shirt and pants was she last seen wearing?
Hold on, let me ask. Then, what color shirt and what was she last wearing? Hold on, we're finding out.
Okay, and then how long has it been though since you guys have last?
Okay, right there. Stop. That right there, in my opinion, completely blows the whole I saw her getting dressed at 8 o'clock this morning thing out of the water when she's got to go find out what she was wearing. But why isn't she calling, first of all? That's another problem I have. Why is she having her sister or somebody else do it? Why not her? And I can hear her in the background. She don't sound panicked. So that's not an excuse. I'm sorry. This is insane. Exactly. That means she did not see her in the morning. Thank you, Dakota.
Seen her
since this morning. She was dropped off at school this morning, and apparently she never showed up. We called everyone we knew. No one's seen her.
Okay. And then, ma'am, I just want to confirm, though, was she last seen from this address? Is this where you guys last saw her?
No. She was last seen at the church next to Hunters Creek Middle School. I think it's called Peace Church. I'm not sure of the exact address. She was wearing a dark green hoodie, I believe.
What is the name of the church?
I think I'm pretty sure it's called Peace Church. It's the one right next to Hunters Creek Middle School. No.
Got it. It's across the street from it?
I believe so, yeah. There's two. I just forgot about the other one. It's not Focal Point Church. It's
well, is it Peace United Methodist Church?
Yes.
Okay.
That one.
Okay, is she diagnosed with any medical, mental conditions at all?
I know she takes medication for ADHD.
Okay, Shannon, I'll start with you. What are you hearing in this call? What strikes your interest? What do you think is significant here?
Well, the first thing that struck me was just how calm the caller was. You hate to judge how people react in these situations, but there's a missing child. Because of Florida law, we don't know who made the 911 call, but I've been told it is a family member, possibly Jen Soto's sister. I was surprised just how calm the caller was about a missing child. That was first. Second, you can hear the same story, right? Stephen Stern's same story, that he dropped her off at that church. That was the last time she had been seen. So the story obviously was relayed to the family members, the same story that he relayed to us in that interview.
How about this? One thing that I want to get both of your reactions to this. The operator says, what was she wearing? And the caller says, Jen, what was she wearing? And then there wasn't an immediate answer. Like they didn't know at that moment. That's what I heard. But my understanding, and I'll start with you, Shannon, is that didn't she tell us or tell someone that she saw her getting dressed in the morning?
was the first initial report to the responding deputy when they showed up, was that she saw her get, and out the door she went to school. So, I mean, maybe there was just a delay in the answer, but I think at that point, if she knew when the deputy got there what she was wearing, she probably knew on the 911 call too.
But Ken, what I'm wondering, and yeah, they do say dark green hoodie a little bit later in the call, but what I'm wondering is where's the information coming from? Because the initial question goes right to Jen, and there's not that immediate response. She was wearing, I saw her getting dressed, she was wearing this. That didn't happen. And I'm wondering if someone else is there, like a Stephen Stearns, filling in the details and telling the story.
Okay, I'm gonna play that back because somebody requested to play that back. Hold on.
Police, possibly. I'm reporting a missing child.
Okay, and the child that you're trying to report missing, are you calling on behalf of the parent?
Yes, on behalf of the mother. She's my
Okay, okay, and then so, and ma'am, how old is the child? And could I go ahead and get her name?
Yes, it's.
And is she white, black, or Hispanic?
No problem, Bonnie.
Okay, and
dirty blonde hair, blue eyes.
okay, hold on with me here. And then what color shirt and pants was she last seen wearing?
Hold on, let me ask. Then, what color shirt and what was she last wearing? Hold on, we're finding out.
Okay, and
hold on, let me ask. Then, what color shirt and what was she last wearing? Hold on, we're finding out.
okay, and then
She asked Jen. I heard her say, Jen, what kind of clothes was she wearing? And it's still hard to understand what you hear Jen saying in the background.
and how long has it been though since you guys have last seen her?
Since this morning. She was dropped off at school this morning, and apparently she never showed up. We called everyone we knew. No one's seen her.
Okay, and then so, ma'am, I just want to confirm though, was she last seen from this address? Is this where you guys last saw her?
No. She was last seen at the church next to Hunters Creek Middle School. I think it's called Peace Church. I'm not sure of the exact address. She was wearing a dark green hoodie, I believe.
What is the name of the church?
I think it's. I'm pretty sure it's called Peace Church. It's the one right next to Hunters Creek Middle School. It's the. Well, no.
Got it. It's across the street from it.
I believe so. Yeah. There's two. I just forgot about the other one. It's not Focal Point Church. It's.
Well, is it Peace United Methodist Church?
Yes.
Okay.
That one.
Okay, is she diagnosed with any medical or mental conditions at all?
I know she takes medication for ADHD.
Okay, Shannon, I'll start with you. What are you hearing in this call? What strikes your interest? What do you think is significant here?
Well, the first thing that struck me was just how calm the caller was. You know, you hate to judge how people react in these situations, but there's a missing because of Florida law, we don't know who made the 911 call, but I've been told it is a family member, possibly Jen Soto's sister. I was surprised just how calm the caller was about a missing child. That was first. Second, you can hear the same story, right? Stephen Stern's same story, that he dropped her off at that church. That was the last time she had been seen. So the story obviously was relayed to the family members, the same story that he relayed to us in that interview.
How about this? One thing that I want to get both of your reactions to this. The operator says, what was she wearing? And the caller says, Jen, what was she wearing? And then there wasn't an immediate answer. Like they didn't know at that moment. That's what I heard. But my understanding, and I'll start with you, Shannon, is that didn't she tell us or tell someone that she saw her getting dressed in the morning?
Was the first initial report to the responding deputy when they showed up, was that she saw her get, and out the door she went to school. So, I mean, maybe there was just a delay in the answer, but I think at that point, if she knew when the deputy got there what she was wearing, she probably knew on the 911 call too.
But Ken, what I'm wondering, and yeah, they do say dark green hoodie a little bit later in the call, but what I'm wondering is where's the information coming from? Because the initial question goes right to Jen, and there's not that immediate response. She was wearing, I saw her getting dressed, she was wearing this. That didn't happen. And I'm wondering if someone else is there, like a Stephen Stearns, filling in the details and telling the story.
Yeah, it's hard to know just from hearing that. I have to admit, I didn't hear these until this afternoon, so I'm still, piecing it together for the first or second time. The thing about this is these calls are on Monday. I know WFTV interviewed her on Tuesday. So what goes through my mind now that we're a month into this is that, okay, on Monday, this would have been the first time or the first couple of times that she's been going through this story. Later in the week, as she was interviewed by other people, I get the sense that having done it once or twice, you've sort of rehearsed it. And so it's easier to relay the same story. But this was Monday.
I gotta say, Sarah, I do agree with you on that one. I'm sorry, but I do. I'm not a fan of the hot smelly garbage, honestly.
This was day one. So it doesn't surprise me that maybe Jen doesn't have it all pieced together. She said that she went to the school at 4:30. She corroborated the story about the church in the morning. So she's pretty much on target here. If she indeed is standing next to whoever the caller is, then she's able to relay these things. So, but I would like to know who the caller is, and because I also heard the green hoodie comes in about 2 or 3 questions later.
Right, and where's that info coming from? Let's listen to another call because it seems the same woman calls back.
Hi, I called not that long ago reporting a missing child. I just wanted to know how long the cops are going to take to get here.
Okay, hold on. Let me open up the call and let's see. The call is still currently pending to have the deputies respond out there, but we don't have any available deputies. We still have the call up, though, holding.
Okay, so no one's on their way yet?
Not yet, no.
Does it take long for them to respond to the call?
If there's a big emergency in the area and there's no units available, they put the calls on hold. But as soon as one becomes available, they respond to the next pressing call.
Okay, yeah, we just need one here urgently. So
I understand. We still have the call. We still have the call holding.
Yes.
Yep, we still have the call holding for them. I'll go ahead and update them with the information.
All right, thank you, because this happened very recently, so we just want to get everyone here. She's been missing since 8 a.m., so we want to get everything done as soon as possible to try to find her.
I understand.
So, Shannon, what time are these calls coming in?
That's what we're not sure about because you'll hear another one. There was 3 calls made that day. It's hard to know, and we're still trying to piece together just how far apart the calls were. It appears these were in the afternoon after they realized that she didn't show up for school. Some of that in that 3rd call, you'll be able to kind of piece together a little bit more. But in this call, Vinny, did you see what the caller said, that the last time she was seen was 8 a.m.? So is it 8 a.m.? Is it 8:30? School doesn't start till after 9. But again, there's another time discrepancy about when she was last seen. That caller said 8 a.m. was the last time someone saw her.
Right. And someone's got to be giving her the.
I totally agree, Toodles. It's absolutely probably one of the most insane cases I've ever looked at as far as the dynamic of how it's happened and what's going down with it. It's crazy. I've seen variations of stuff like this happen. We all have. Based on what this is rounding out to be, guys, I've never seen anything like this at all. If this ends up being what I think it is, no, never seen this. And this is insanely disgusting to me. I just almost am at a loss for words. These are the cases that make you think twice about what we're doing sometimes, and if we don't, it was a missing child, Norma. She was and was found sadly deceased. And the boyfriend to her mother is sitting in jail right now for having very, very, very illicit photos of her, the child, on his phone with him. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this, this is a sad one, guys. Very sad. Oh God, I hate this one. But it needs to be, the awareness needs to be out there as to what has happened, what's going on, and that these things can happen. Period.
Information, the caller. Let's listen to that 3rd call right now.
Do you need police, fire, medical?
No, it's not a medical issue. We have a missing child since this morning. We already called 3 times. And
now, this, I believe, is Jen Soto's mother, because she has very broken English. The first caller, I think, was Stephanie, Jen's sister. This, I believe, is Jen's mom, who very just struggles with English. So,
the police didn't show up yet.
Yes, ma'am, I see it right here for you. Yes, ma'am, I see it. They're waiting for a deputy to respond.
They haven't come here yet.
I'm aware, ma'am. I see it. It's waiting for a deputy to respond.
You're waiting for a deputy to respond?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long more do we need to wait? It's a child missing.
I understand that, ma'am, but I'm just not able to give out ETA. I don't know when they'll be there.
So how long do we need to wait? This is an emergency.
Ma'am, we have the information, but they're trying to get to someone as soon as possible.
So this is not important for you guys? Really?
Ma'am, we're very busy in the area. Look, I understand they'll be there as soon as they can, okay?
Click. Ken, your thoughts?
And then she hangs up. I will say that 3rd call sounds a little the voice sounds a little different than the first 2 calls. Other question that I have. Okay, the family lived in Kissimmee. The school is in Orange County, Hunters Creek, right across the county line. Where were these calls being made, like from a cell phone? And the reason I ask that is that I'm wondering if it was Orange County or if it was Kissimmee, their call center, and whose deputies or officers were responding to this case that leads to this delay where someone calls 3 times. And I'm also with Shannon trying to find out when these calls took place. It sounds like it was in the afternoon after Jennifer Soto had gone to the school 4:30. Did not find her there. She was not there at all during the day. But these calls, while they kind of bring
it makes me wonder if Jen delayed the call. Maybe Jen, we don't know. This is just an assumption, guys, or a possible opinion. If Jen didn't immediately call and put it off for some reason, saying, "Oh, she'll come back," or or we'll find her, or something like that, and delayed it for whatever reason. And her sister and her mother said, no, you call now. And that's why they were repeatedly calling. Now, I'm not saying that's what actually happened, you guys, but being that Jen wasn't not the one to make the call, it makes you wonder. It almost makes you wonder, okay? So I'm curious. At this point, I'm really curious. I'd like to know if that was the case. Seriously. The grandmother's pissed. The sister sounded, urgent in a sense because she called twice. The grandmother called once. Where's the mother? That's not calling. That doesn't seem to be urgent to her, in my opinion. I don't know, guys. If that's what the scenario is, that tells a story by itself. You know what I mean? So,
a couple of things in the light also creates a couple more questions.
So, Shannon, as we sit here tonight, had any sense from law enforcement how close or how far away they are from charges, from an arrest for the murder of this little girl?
How do I answer that, Vinny? I think that in a couple of weeks, we may have some new information on the case. Understand that this is now Kissimmee Police working also with the state attorney's office, trying to go through the case step by step by step. I was told today that they are still working on what they're calling a task list. They're going down that list and checking everything off. Once that happens, they will meet again with the state attorney's office. The state attorney then will advise them on, charges, if they have enough for more charges and who's going to be charged. I suspect that the murder charge is taking longer for several reasons. One, you don't want to start the speedy trial unless you have what you need. It's also difficult unless you have the right evidence, if you have video or somebody said who did what. If there were more people inside that house, it's not as much of a slam dunk as you would hope it would be. I know what the public thinks. I mean, I get emails every day and questions every day on this case. They think, listen, it must be obvious. He was just arrested for this. But in order to take this to trial, they really need to try to figure out who was in the house, who did it. And what I'm not clear, though, Vinny, and I wanted to get more into this week, is if Jen Soto is still cooperating with the authorities. We know that Stephen Stearns is not, but is she still cooperating? She has been interviewed several times. But listen, this case is going on, 6 weeks now? It's not clear just how much she's involved in this case now. I think it's going to be some time, but I do expect some kind of update, at least in a couple of weeks.
All right, we appreciate both of you coming on. Big news tonight. Shannon Butler, WFTV. Ken Jackson, the Osceola News Gazette. Make sure you check out everything that they do. It's all online. You don't have to live in Central Florida to see their work. Thank you both so much. Appreciate it. When we come back, what does our think tank think about these developments? A minor whose death was related to an act of domestic violence. We'll hear from Kirk Nurmi, the judge, and Dina Raman.
It's behind me. You see there's not really much to this road. I mean, there's a little flat land on the left, a little brush on the right. It seems like you'd be able to see something from your car as you pass down this road, but it's not a busy road. There's only been 15, maybe 20 cars that have passed by since we've been here for the past half hour or so. And also, there's no security cameras on any of these light posts. But as we continue this way, we are reminded that this actually is where Madeline Soto's body was found, by this memorial set up by community advocates, family members, maybe even some friends. Because right back there in that span of trees is where her body was found by police.
The murder of Madeline Soto, and tonight getting some information, reporting from WFTV involving the medical examiner's report. The medical examiner's office said the report is confidential and exempt from being publicly released.
That's true, Willows. I do remember that because I remember questioning that myself. So there we go.
Released because it involves, quote, a minor whose death was related to an act of domestic violence. That tells me this was not stranger danger. This is not a child being dropped off and walking to school and getting picked up by someone. No. This is an attack, a killing taking place in the house. But maybe I'm off base here. Let's bring in our think tank, see what they have to say. Joining us tonight in Cleveland, Ohio, retired judge, former prosecutor, and judicial fellow at the National Judicial College, Gail Byers, is with us. Also joining us in Phoenix, Arizona, you recognize him, the attorney who represented that woman. Ugh. All right, Kirk Nurmey's with us. And in Los Angeles, California, president of the West Coast Trial Lawyers,
Go,
former
Gail
federal
Byers.
prosecutor Nima Rahmani. Great to have everyone here. All right, Judge, what are your thoughts about what we are learning from the medical examiner's office?
Well, Vinny, I think you are very correct in that we have to look very closely to the word choice that the medical examiner's office used in exempting the release of this report. When they not only identified, obviously, the victim as a minor, which we knew, what we didn't know is what may be connected facts or evidence to cause of death. And when they made this statement, pursuant to Florida statute, that the cause of death may be related to a domestic violence incident, that instantly tells you who the likely suspects are, more likely than not in this case, because we're talking about a very narrow field of individuals.
Thank you so much, Country Brat. Gifted 5 memberships. I can't see who got them right now. Whoever you are, congratulations. And once again, Country Brat, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate that. And whoever got them, welcome to the sauce, all you new meatballs. And congratulations. I appreciate that so very much, Country.
Domestic violence has a very specific definition in Florida. And for minors and for individuals, it's related to those who live in the house with the individual, parents, those who have children in common, or what is called often in local parental, or acting as a parent or a guardian. The only requirement for those who do not live together is that they have a child in common. So we know that that's not someone. What we do know is by using this term of domestic violence, we're now looking at who was at the time of Madeline's life or during her life was living in the house with her, whether it was briefly, because the statute doesn't even put a time limit on it. It says basically any time during the lifetime of the victim. If you ever live together, then you could presumably be a suspect of domestic violence to someone you ever lived with. And that's what is kind of a bell ringer here, because we've got the mother's boyfriend that's in custody. He clearly lived in that home with that child. And we have the mother who we're not really sure what they're going to do with her, because now she's cooperating. We know for a fact that at least those two people could be suspects of domestic violence against this child. We don't know if there's someone else. And that leaves a lot of questions. And I'd be really interested to see how this shakes out with the prosecutor's investigation. It's going to be really interesting, but I think we kind of know who most of the fingers are pointing right now.
Much closer tonight. Kirk Nurmey, do you think we're much closer tonight getting an idea? Because it seems like the medical examiner's office has perhaps finished this report, because all of a sudden they're talking about the death. Like, if you're talking about the death related to domestic violence, then you probably have a cause and manner here.
Yeah, you probably have a cause and manner, but as to follow up on what the judge just said, you also have a suspect, right? This is a limited universe when we're talking about this domestic violence provisions. We're talking about stepfather, mother, close relatives, things of that nature, right? And I don't think location plays a part in it, just the relationship. So I think they have all the evidence. They're using this, and the fact that Mr. Stearns is behind bars, he's not going anywhere. You know, we want justice at the speed of light, but ultimately it's more important to get it right in a case like this, especially when it's a capital case. So I think we're going to see the authorities moving forward, moving methodically, knowing that, you know, if they're going to charge Mr. Stearns anyway, that he's not going anywhere anytime soon, and there is indeed no rush.
All right, Nima, when you have to solve a case, investigate a case, and then prove a case in court, I mean, the jury's going to want to know, where did it happen? Where did it happen? It's domestic violence, okay. Is the home a crime scene? Is the car a crime scene? Is there some other place? These are other very important questions that I think prosecutors are going to need to answer here.
Oh, absolutely, Vinny. And I think you're right. I think the home and the vehicle are likely crime scenes. And so what do we know about Stearns right now? And you touched upon all this. I mean, here's someone who reportedly lied about where he took the victim. And there's video of him apparently putting her in the car and discarding items when she's already passed away. So those are 2 strikes. And obviously that phone, first to containing the child pornography, again, what's being reported, and probably not just child pornography, production of child pornography. In many states, and certainly on the federal level, we're talking about mandatory minimums there. And of course, innocent people, Vinny, they don't wipe their phone, right? Certainly not the day that they talk to law enforcement. This is all very damning evidence for Stearns. And like the judge said, it's a question of what did Soto know? Was she involved in all this? Was she innocent? So I think that's the big question here. But I think Stearns is looking at very significant time here, both on the child porn and the eventual charges that I think are going to come related to the death in this case.
Let me ask you, Judge, domestic violence, let's just take a leap here and presume that it's Stephen Stearns. Is it reasonable to believe that Jen Soto could be completely oblivious to years of the abuse and then a act of domestic violence that takes the life of her daughter? Could she have no idea any of this was happening?
I think any mother, and I think that's perhaps what jurors.
Leslie, thank you so very much for that. That absolutely means the world to me. I appreciate that, and that you feel that way. And I know the mods do as well. So thank you very much for being part of this community and this channel, Leslie. 1,000,000%. Thank you. Again, Country Brat, thank you for those memberships to everybody in here. That's so very amazing of you. And I as you can tell, they're all very appreciative. So thank you again, too.
Will look to if this is a jury trial, and if there's a trial to the bench, trial to the judge, they would be thinking, what mother isn't in tune to their prepubescent daughter who doesn't have their finger on the pulse, understanding that their body's going through changes, they're always hormonal, they're going through changes. And so to come to the reality that your live-in boyfriend has been sexually assaulting your child for an extended period of time, and the idea that the mother has no clue whatsoever means you have absolutely no relationship or connectivity, presumably, to your child. And so I think from a logical standpoint, you're going to have maybe jurors or any trier of fact that's going to find that to be pretty incredible, which may also explain why she's cooperating.
Yeah.
It might have a lot to do with why she wants to maybe get in front of this, because Vinny, you know the rules. I was a prosecutor. The first to squeal gets the deal. So if there's any way to save yourself, you might want to pipe up now.
And I just always hope that a parent whose child has been murdered would cooperate, period. Anything and everything you need to know, I'm here to help you. But anyway, good news.
Assuming you had nothing to do with it.
Well, exactly. That's what I always want to presume, that the parent has nothing to do with it. We'll see. We'll stay on top of it. Think Tank stays with us. Up next. The defense attorney for the Oxford school shooter's mother, Jennifer Crumbley, wants her client to serve her sentence at her house. And the prosecution is asking for next Tuesday is the sentencing. Now, the parents will be sentenced for what they did, for the involuntary manslaughter of the 4 victims. Here's what the state is recommending for the sentence: at least 10 years in prison.
All right, so that's it for the Crumbley, I'm sorry, I don't want to get into the Crumbley thing, but for that. Really, Clue? I can agree with you, ma'am. Very much so. I agree, Robert. So that's what's going on both sides of the spectrum for those 2 cases, guys. It's both cases are very sad right now. Very sad. horrible. And I don't even know. I don't even know. The Soto case is disgusting to me. Just more than disgusting. More than disgusting to me. And it blows my mind, you guys. It blows my mind that things like that even happen, if you know what I'm saying. So, is there anybody that has anything they wanted to add to this or put in on this? I will be back here tonight again to you guys. I wanted to throw it out there for anybody that threw a 1 out yesterday and wanted to do the music thing. Did you want to do that tonight or tomorrow? If you want to do it tonight, give me a 1 in the chat. If you want to do it tomorrow, give me a 2. Let me check real quick, Jody. Real quick, yeah. See if I can find it. Oh, I did see it now. Oh, wow. Thank you, Jody. One moment here. Hang on. So this is the video. Awesome. Thank you, Jody, very much. Oops. Hold on. What did I do here? All right, here we go. 1 doodle, 3 for both. I can't do both nights. 1, 2, 2, 2. All right. If you could, while I'm pulling this up, one of the mods, count up the numbers in the chat and let me know what they are real quick. I will be back here either way tonight, but it's up to what you guys want to do. If you want me to do the music thing tonight, let me know. If you want me to do it tomorrow, let me know. No, Carolyn, there's nothing new with Caleb Harris. I was just going to tell you that, show you if there was, but there's nothing. So I'm not passing it up, but there is nothing new that has come since yesterday or the day before. Everything is exactly the same as where it was. I tried to find some new stuff. That's my granddaughter, Metamom, but thank you. 5 for 1. Damn, SRB, that was quick. Thank you. Let me show you. This is the full video from the lights from the back of Sebastian's. Thank you, Kiko. It's pretty crazy too, Jody, and it kind of reminds me almost of what the Idaho scenario was like. You know what I'm saying? The Apple River thing is crazy. This is the full video of what Nick Barris didn't show us from the backyard with the lights and all that other stuff of the in Sebastian's case. All right, here we go.
With a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it.
And other news outlets were reporting that there were lights seen in the backyard that were caught on camera by a neighbor's video. Is that true?
No. What that was a trash truck. Went through. That was a trash truck. Take care, Bonnie. Thank you for joining us. Through, picked up trash, and when it left, of course, it went faster. It didn't have to stop to pick up trash. That's just false information provided by a particular person. So there's that. It is a little easier to see it. It still doesn't make any sense, though. It is quite a ways away. I agree. Thanks, Clue. So I don't know, guys. I struggle with the trash truck thing. Give me 1 second, though, and we'll be right back with you. All right, I'm back. Are they in the city limits trash zone? I don't know that. Do you know that, Clue, if that's city limits or if that's a township type scenario? Okay, Leslie. All right, so this is new to me. Out of city limits, bye. Where are you going? Why are you saying bye? Why you gotta go? Why you leaving? Where you going? Who you going to? What you doing? What's going on? That's where it was. Whether you actually saw it or walked past it, I don't know. Okay. Nama. She left. All right, so I wanted you guys to see this. I never saw this. This is interesting. Thank you, Leslie. And it proves that this guy's a piece of garbage. Check this out.
They don't do that, you know. Why don't they just kind of like at least give you a blanket, you know?
My core temperature was down. Every time they took it, it was like a degree or two lower than it should have been.
Wow.
I couldn't regulate. I was sleeping on bare metal. The first night I was on a concrete floor with a roll of toilet paper for a pillow and nothing else. begging for a blanket or a pad to sleep on for like 2 days. I think they were supposed to do something like that.
Oof. That sounds rough, man.
So, yes, that was Stefan Stearns on the day that Maddie's body was found. His girlfriend's stepdaughter, Madeline Soto, her body was found that day. But it's weird. I don't know if he knows yet, because according to the timestamp, it's March 1st. These body cams start at 8:53 a.m., if that time is correct. So he might not know about
I'm gonna make it warm for you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you feel that? Okay.
It make him comfortable. Look at his creepy ass looking at the camera like he did. Not yet, Tomboy, but I'll check it out. I was just gonna say that, Clue. He's flying like. Brrr. That's some quick texting. Shoot. Well, if he'd have done that, Evie, the guy would have felt like he was home because you know he's Satan. I don't know how some of these cops do this. Like, I couldn't be as nice and professional with this guy knowing what he did. I just couldn't. I couldn't. Knowing what they found on his phone, there's no way.
ALT leaving the jail now. Probably less, sir, because we're taking the turnpike down to 192. So we're taking I-4 to the turnpike. So I did, sir. I texted him. Yes, sir, he did. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Yes, I did. Leslie, thank you again.
How's the temperature feel?
Better than it was.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't know why they don't do that. Why don't they just kind of like at least give you a blanket?
My core temperature was down. The time they took it, it was like a degree or two lower than it should have been.
Wow.
Couldn't regulate. Sleeping on bare metal. The first night I was on the concrete floor with a roll of toilet paper for a pillow and nothing else. Begging for a blanket or a pad to sleep on for like 2 days. I think they were supposed to do
Damn it, Clue.
Oof. That sounds rough, man.
Oh well, man. Boo flipping who? I just made mention of that today, Terry. That kind of bugged me a little bit. Exactly, Pamela. Boo flipping who? I would lock this piece of shit in a walk-in freezer and leave him there. That's what I do with it.
Please forgive my cough. I've been trying to get rid of it for the past like 2 or 3 days, and prior to that, I had a really bad cold. And
I always found Ricola honeys, honey Ricolas, do really well to smooth out your throat.
you know, I like those, man. But have you ever tried the berry ones? The Ricola berry? Phenomenal. The Ricola berry ones, they almost taste like candy.
Yeah, you gotta be careful because the honey ones are the same way.
Are these two gonna like go out on a date now or something? Like what is this? He must not know what this guy was picked up for. I'll be honest with you, because the deputy seems nice enough. That's great, but you don't. I'm sorry. I believe in human rights and everything. This piece of crap doesn't deserve any rights. I'm sorry. He doesn't deserve human or any rights at all. The Ricola cough drops are very good, though. I use those ones myself. Anyway, the point is that this is aggravating to me to see him treated human when he dehumanized other people. That's the problem I have with this. Okay, if he knows, then like just don't talk to him. You ain't got to talk to him. I ain't lying. I'm just saying I just don't understand how he could be that way. I wouldn't even be speaking to this guy, let alone being able to not shred this guy into pieces. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But once you get to the middle part, it's rough though, because like it's got a punch. You're talking about the ones that have like the it's like a gooey menthol inside of it.
The solid ones are just the honey.
So you haven't had the ones that have like the gooey part in the inside? Those are good until you bite into it and you're like, whoa, like it's a burst of like menthol. Yeah, it is. It is. I just got the regular Halls cherry. It's what I find at 7-Eleven, so.
I've never been one for cherry cough.
Really?
It just tastes too medicinal.
I can't get my kid to drink medicine. I gotta like mix it in his orange juice. For real, I gotta like literally like, here, drink orange juice because it's good for you. It's vitamin C, and you know, because he'll literally like not drink his medicine like at all.
What the hell is going on? Don't be talking kids with this guy either. Really? Oh my, I can't. What the hell? I hope that explains it.
Hello. ¿Cómo? Ok. Por la Turnpike. Ya pasamos la 528. O sea, cerca de Florida. Sí, pero no lo puse, pero lo puedo hacer. Sí. Sí, pero no quiero. Sí.
I think he's speaking Spanish, you guys.
Ok, voy a dejarme. Bye. Gracias.
Are you leaving already, country nut? We're going to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. That's how we can take it.
Yeah. Classical. Like what? Like give me like a classical song. Or you're the first one. I've never had anyone tell me classical music, and I actually like classical music. I do. I've never been to like an orchestra or like a concert like that. I've never been to one.
You know what I don't understand about this is why he is so calm. He has to know that his life is over at this point for what he's done, for what's on his phone. How is he so damn calm? I don't understand this. Okay, Country Brat, thank you so much for being here, for what you did, and just for supporting this very much. Thank you very much. Hope to see you again soon. Like I said, I will be here live again tonight. It'll probably be a little different stream, a little more of a laid back, because it's been kind of a rough time with Sebastian and everything, and give people a chance to take their shoes off, relax, and take a break from this. So hopefully you'll enjoy if you do show up. So I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. We can do that too, Leslie. I'd have to find it again. It's probably buried. I hope I didn't get rid of it by accident. If you happen to have it and you want to send it back to me, I would love that, because I said I had to clean out my 25,000 emails. So.
Yeah. they're actually right. Because let's say it's not a newer song, but let's say November Rain, right? By Guns N' Roses. What Slash does with the guitar towards the end of that whole track, he literally makes that guitar cry. Like, it's one of those moments where you're like, wow. I like Metallica. Metallica's my all-time favorite. Queen is, yeah. I haven't seen that latest movie with like the guy that was on the sitcom. I haven't seen the Queen movie yet.
Jail.
I even like Linkin Park. Well, you can follow it on the same lines as this guy from Soundgarden. I forgot his name. Oh my gosh. And then when he went over to Audioslave, you ever heard Audioslave? I mean, Audioslave came out with like one album and they just crushed it.
Okay, at this point, yes, rest in peace, Chris Cornell. I loved Chris Cornell. At this point, I'm going to have to go with what Tanya's saying and hope that this guy is just being nice to possibly get him to speak or say something or do something that is going to, like, flip, to give him away. Maybe that's what this is all about. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I couldn't even have a conversation with this piece of shit. Sorry. That's truthfully what my thought is with this, guys. That's the only thing that makes any sense. I've never seen this happen before, so.
But classical music, wow.
I agree.
The one type of music I never got into was country.
That was true too, right?
I just can't relate to it. I grew up in the city, so not much that I can relate to driving a tractor and stuff like that, and some of the songs that I've heard. You grew up on a farm? Wow.
Sometimes we pick, dozen songs every day. That's 10, 11 of them kid. Once pushed away, we had this dumpster at the ramp that we pushed the wheel goes forward, we bumped into. Once I pushed it, and the wheel girl tipped over and took me right with it into the dumpster from Portsmouth. Luckily, it's just mostly grass fields, so it's not.
But it stinks. Why did you work there? Was it like your family's farm? So you're from Georgia?
I'm from, I've been all over. I was born in Illinois. Lived in Georgia, Florida, California, all over. Rotation for baseball.
Hello? Sí, está todo bien. Estamos como a 2 o 3 minutos. Estamos en la 1:22, casi doblando en la sección. Bye. See, I was born in Puerto Rico and then I was raised in Boston. So, hey, it was. I mean, I didn't grow up in Puerto Rico because my mom left there when I was 2. And I grew up more in Cambridge and like Boston area. So that was like a big city, projects and that's
interesting locals.
it's definitely different. Definitely different.
I'm a little confused. I don't understand what they just did. Good to see you, Candace. Thanks for joining. Right, Amber. That would be the worst thing as far as I'm concerned. This piece of shit needs to sit in prison in general population for the rest of his life, and however long that lasts for what he did, because it won't be long. I think the death penalty would be too easy on him personally. That's the easy way out. I'm sorry. That's a good point, Demon. That's a real good point.
Cabrera, ID 1327 with Osceola with 11015.
Go again, I can't hear you.
Cabrera, ID 1327 with 11015.
1327, Cabrera, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want to say that's what's supposed to say. You want the one there. You said 11015.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, they have to protect him to stand trial. Here, I mean, that's part of the thing. And they have to protect innocent until proven guilty. You know how that works, unfortunately. But as much as we know that he's guilty, they still have to prove it now in a court of law. That's the problem with this stuff. That's the only thing I don't like. When you find things like this on a phone, that says it all, you guys, in my opinion. So, all right, folks. Let me see if I got that other piece of info here. I think this is the wrong one that you sent me, Leslie, and that's okay. I've showed this one before.
But I got for free from my boss.
Yeah, this isn't the same one, but still. All right, guys. What was on his phone, Corey? They found 400 images. That my understanding is that are the child and him in lascivious acts, lewd acts type things. I don't want to go into details, but yeah, in performing different things, her performing different things, so on and so forth. And it's well over 400 photos, images, I should say. There's video as well. So that's the one thing that no matter what's said, I can't get past that. I don't care what the situation is. I won't be able to ever get past that. Awesome tomboy. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Let me see something here. Oh, it's okay, Corey. What are you confused about, Vicky? Or anybody? What's anybody confused about? they were taking him to, I think they had to transport him from Osceola. Well, they arrested him. So I think they took him from there to Osceola County. That's when he was first brought in, and then they had to take him to the place where he did his perp walk to go to court. That's what I think that was. Awesome. That's cool as hell, Tomboy. What is Kimber saying up here? No, I understand, Kimber. I do. I mean, I it's a very hard thing to understand. I agree. Very hard thing to understand in some ways.
You like your butterfly? This is
Let me see. Sorry about that. Some of these videos and some of these things aren't working. All right. Trying to take down some of these tabs I have. There we go. That's one of the big questions, Terry. Was it him doing it? Was it the mother doing it? A lot of people are questioning that. We don't know. You know, we're not going to know. Thank you, Metamom. I appreciate that very much. I hope you guys did enjoy being here today. I thank you all once again for the support for Sebastian. Any of you that are, you know, the support for the awareness coming from Maddie's case. Again, guys, there's nothing new with Caleb Harris, unfortunately. I thought there was going to be, but there's not. It's the same exact thing. So once again, all we can do is cross our fingers and pray that something new pops up with Caleb's case. We're going to be looking at some other stuff here soon, guys, and I'm working on doing a full show on autism and the realm of autism, the spectrum itself. So I hope anybody that's interested in that will be here for that coming up soon. Also, we're going to be doing something soon in regards to the Delphi case. For anybody interested, please. I hope to see you all here for everything because I am enjoying this very much, including all the new faces. I love it. So I appreciate every one of you, and every bit of the time you guys spend in here supporting this channel so very much. Again, tonight, guys, I will be here live tonight. We'll see what goes on. It's going to be kind of a step away from the true crime things for us to be able to just kind of break away, enjoy ourselves a little bit, and take a break from this because it gets a little rough here and there. So thank you guys once again for being part of all this, supporting me and this channel. Anybody that donated anything, thank you very much for that so very much. Don't forget, guys, to love yourselves, to love each other. Don't change a thing about your things. You guys are the beautiful people. And I will see you all so very soon. Bye-bye now.